My little pony, my little pony.
Hello everyone and welcome to Bronyville. This is Bronyville episode number 56, recorded on May 26, 2012. I'm your host, Apple Cider. Hey everyone across the internet, everybody on Justin TV, watching the show live that airs live on Justin TV at noon on Saturdays. Just so you know, you can catch us live, be in on the show, talk to us. It's cool. Great show ahead of us. We've got emails. We're doing an email show so we can take care of all those great notes that you have put across to us. Hello to everyone in the room that is yelling out to us. Awesome. Noon plus 17 minutes. You know, you got a little extra there. We have a great show. Chef is not with us this week. I do want to explain just a little bit. Chef is is both trying to help his family and is also having some say other family related problems of the potentially really bad way. I'm trying to say this in the best way, but he's just having some health related issues with some individuals in his family, and our thoughts are out with him. But you know, he's just taking a little bit of time off to take care of that stuff. So best wishes for him. We're gonna have a great bunch of our co-hosts help fill his hoof shoes during this time. So first we have always a great co-host for us, and she was co-hosting recently. Hey, Pix Kitties.
Hello, Apple Cider. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I am doing very good. I'm happy to be here once again. Thank you so much.
I am happy to have you. You are always so super chipper and super fun to have around on the show.
Thank you so much.
How have things been on the art side over in your world?
Very, very busy. I'm trying really hard to knock out all my commissions and kind of community art that I'm doing for different people and get that all out of the way so I can start focusing like a laser on the whole convention season that's coming up.
Oh, yeah,
so.
coming up. But which ones are you hitting thus far?
I'm going to be at BronyCon, obviously at the end of June, TrotCon in July, and then Canterlot Gardens in September.
Oh, good. I'll actually end up seeing you at Canterlot, so that'll be great.
Awesome.
Sounds good. And our other co-host that we've got with us, he's been on plenty of times. I'm sure you've heard his dulcet tones more than once. It's Midnight Shadow.
Hello, AC.
Coming all the way across the pond.
It is quite a hop from sunny Finland.
Yeah, except it's like what time right now?
Well, it's actually 10:20 p.m. and surprisingly, it's still light now. We're entering the era of the midnight sun.
Wow, you actually do get that up there. That's
There, I believe, is one day, yeah, when the sun doesn't quite go down. It just kind of dips just below the horizon and goes around and comes back up again.
I actually did not know you were that high up, that far north over there. I mean, I knew that Finland was up there, but I didn't know like you were at the point where it was just like, yeah, now we're mowing the lawn at midnight. You know?
Yep, basically, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's good. It's still sunny over here. It's still sunny over there, I guess. So there's sunshine all over this podcast.
Yeah.
Grind to a halt. All right, well, good to have you on, Mitty. Good to have you on, Pixel. We have to, as always, check back in with you since you are returning champions that we have. Pixel, I have to know favorite character and favorite episode.
Favorite character, still the great and powerful Trixie. But I will say that I am now willing to concede that my favorite episode is A Canterlot Wedding. It has surpassed Luna Eclipse at this point.
Oh.
It was just so good. And I view them as like both parts, one long episode, so it's got a bit of an advantage, but yeah. Totally there now.
It does. If Luna, now think if it was Luna Eclipsed was as long as that one.
That would be a tough decision.
See, there you go.
You get more Luna per episode, and that would just skew the metrics on it. I'd really have to think about that.
See, look, I'm posing difficult questions for you there, but that works. Midnight, what about you?
The philosophy start.
Oh, go ahead.
I could... What?
Oh,
I
Pixel,
could
go.
cheat and say all of them, but was Pixel going to add something there? Because
Yeah.
otherwise I'm
No.
just going to blather on
No.
forever and
Just
ever.
you go. I was not adding anything of importance.
Oh.
Aw.
Let me see. Favorite episode? Probably Sister Who's Social at the moment because it's a fun episode.
Okay, and a character.
Totally. I mean, since Chef isn't here, I might have to say Rainbow Dash.
Nope, no, don't have to. Don't feel inclined.
But yeah, you're right. I think it's going to be Pipsqueak because Pipsqueak needs more love.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah,
Interesting
he's
choice.
cute.
He is
He's
cute.
lovely, and he's British, which
Yeah,
brings a
he's-
bit of
he's
class to the
cute.
show.
Now, the question is he British or is he only doing a British accent?
He's doing that outrageous accent, the Dick Van Dyke English, which you get from Mary Poppins. It's hello, Mary Poppins, go blimey, gam the lava duck, if I did old trip down the old apples of bears land with it for. I mean, nobody speaks like that. Really.
And then as the episode goes on, it like the accent starts just diminishing until it's just like, hey, what's going on? It's like,
I'm pretty sure the voice actors he just can't keep it up in the studio there. He's just laughing too much, and they have to just use the takes where he's not giggling.
oi, governor, I'm a
That's
little
exactly
boy.
what it is.
I'm a pirate. I really do like tea and crumpets. Like, jeez.
Peep, peep, cheerio,
Happy night,
governor.
Van Night, everyone.
It's just the accents to the next degree. What do we need? We need a small British boy. How British? All the British.
Yeah,
where was that little guy
chimney
from?
Sweet British. He's just chimney sweet British, isn't he? Really?
It's just like, where was that little kid from? I don't know. You couldn't tell by the just drenching it. That's like the French accents. They're just like, where's that guy from? I think France. I've got an idea.
Hollywood, France. Yeah.
Hollywood, France, Hollywood Southern. Howdy, y'all, what you doing? Like, just accents to the next degree.
Do they actually get American accents wrong?
Well, what do you mean by like, does the show or does Hollywood get American accents wrong?
Well, Hollywood and the show.
I would say AJ is is a decent Southern accent. I'm used to. I'm from the South, so I'm used to Southern accents sounding a little bit more like this. But the for the most part, it could be. It's a regional, just Southern accent. Not anywhere specific to any place. It's just a genuine Southern. And does anyone else really have any other kind of accent?
Not really. I mean, Rarity sort of has the upper class affectation accent, but that's
the fake Eurotrash accent. Yeah.
based on her parents. I don't even think that's her real accent. So
Yeah.
You
that is
find out when
funky.
the cameras are off her, she's just slumming it, just like, oh, all right. Well, I'm just gonna let's see. I guess I'll make a hat today. Rarity. Oh yes.
That is totally my new headcanon now. That is.
Moment she's in anybody is present, she just turns it on.
That is definitely funky apple juice.
The funkiest apple juice. Everybody missed the pre-show where Minnie decided to open up a bubbling can of apple juice or something and drank it.
It's not. It's supposed to be pure apple juice, but it's kind of fizzy, which makes me think it's fermented. And I keep having to test it to see if it is.
Made by the Flim Flam brothers. Look out.
yep, still botulism.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, super good. We got you two on. As I said, we've got a big email show going up ahead of us. We got news and sponsors, and we've got contest winners, all sorts of stuff to add to the show. So it will be super, super good, and we're going to have all you guys able to interact inside the chat room. We may even open up the calls at some point so we could chat upon any of the questions and any of the emails that are out there. Just do it live. Do it however we want. Crazy here. But first off, we need to go ahead and talk about our sponsors. Our sponsors now are, as always, we are very loving We Love Fine t-shirts. You can go over there and use the purchase code Bronyville10 to get 10% off of your purchase. They have kids tees now. You can actually have your little ones go to school wearing MLP shirts. And as you always know, they have super awesome gear. I always sport my Magneto shirt whenever I can. So, super awesome stuff. How many things do you two have? I'm sure Pixel's got a few.
Yeah, I quite selfishly have all the shirts that they made of mine, and when I won the contest a while back too, they gave me like a $300 gift thing. So I still have some of that left. So I keep kind of going back to the well on that and getting more stuff.
Oh, what all do you have?
So jelly.
As far as what I bought, oh God, I can't even remember. A couple Dr. Hoof shirts. A couple Derpy shirts. I have a Fluttershy bag. I just ordered one of those new hoodies they have because they're really awesome. My nephew has a birthday coming up, so I suspect now I'll be spending some of the money on children-sized pony stuff for him, get him started early. So I have a lot. My closet is like half pony stuff right now.
None for and any for you, Mitty? Have you been able to get any?
No, the shipping is absolutely awful for Europe, so I haven't dared to actually spend my money on it yet.
Though I have heard have heard some rumblings they're trying to do something international soon. Some rumblings.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's if you could pull together with a bunch of folks and then save on the shipping, you're probably fine, but if you spend like $15 on a t-shirt and then the shipping's like $30, it's like, yeah, how much do I want that pony shirt again? So it's not quite that bad, probably, but I haven't got around to buying shirts. So no, I'm sadly ponyless.
Oh,
we can work on that. Next time you come to the States, we'll go ahead and plaster you with some.
I think that's a good idea.
Yay! That'd be awesome.
That sounds good. Our other sponsors are Ruckus Media, the maker of the Ruckus Player. If you actually go onto their website or go find it on iTunes, you can download that for your iPad, and it includes a actual My Little Pony storybook, completely playable. Features the characters, features a full part and play of the story. Ruckus Reader, go check it out. Awesome sponsors of us, and you can actually find a link over at BronyShow.com or BronyPodcast.com. It'll take you right across to the app that you can get. And our last sponsor is Everfree Northwest, the super awesome convention coming up this summer. They have been announcing this whole week new attendees, from Andrea Libman to Tara to just so many different people just coming across and going to be part of the convention. So you should check that out. That is going to be coming up very soon. Everfree NW, I will be there. Chef will be there. It sounds like pretty much everyone who is going to try and be there, and they are still rolling out announcements for new people that are going to be attending. So that sounds like that is really going to be a crazy con. So I highly recommend it. Everfree Northwest. And that's the sponsors. So that takes care of all that bit. So it's news time. Time to talk about what's been going on in the world of pony. And there's been not much in the directly pony news, but there has been enough in the periphery stuff that's been kind of talked about and interesting information that it dares some discussion.
Le gasp.
Yes. The first is a little bit of an explosion that happened during this week, where there was a reported Hasbro request to take down White Dove's DeviantArt plush commissions. Now, White Dove did these amazing, just large size, fully customized, just awesome looking large plushes, and was making several hundred on each one that was being made, up to upwards. I think the gala dress one, that was one of the ones that went for like several thousand.
Wow.
Yeah, and it just happened that something happened, at least when it was originally reported, and there was a takedown request that was made, and all the information and all the pictures that were relating to it were taken down off of the DeviantArt page for White Dove. So there was a little bit of question there. It turns out in the end that what it is that what happened was, it sounds similar to, kind of quasi-similar to the Derpy situation, where somebody went to Hasbro, said, hey, this person is making a whole lot of money on plush stuffed animals. Hasbro's checked, and actually contacted DeviantArt and said, could you get them to take their stuff down? Didn't contact White Dove, just contacted contacted the DeviantArt themselves and said, hey, this is our copyrighted material. They're making a whole bunch of money, and said to cut it out. So this gets to one of the like weird points that happens every once in a while where the question of copyright and ownership gets tossed, and and it never really looks like it's a great thing. It's such a big, like, a giant question mark, because if a big company wants to come in, they could say Bronyville doesn't represent our trademark right. Bam. So
yeah. I mean, it is a tricky thing, but I mean, I think this time it was DeviantArt rushing to make sure they didn't do something that they shouldn't do, which is basically, I think if they ignore the takedown request, they can get in a lot of trouble. So they basically contacted White Dove, or I'm assuming they contacted White Dove actually, and from whatever the fallout was, White Dove stuff got taken down. Mm-hmm. As I understand it, White Dove stuff doesn't claim to be official merchandise, doesn't have any MLP logos on it. So as far as copyrighted characters goes, she's actually allowed to make them, but isn't allowed to claim that they are those characters. So it's one of those legal gray areas, right?
And Hasbro, I think, for the past few months has been kind of cracking down on eBay auctions with customs and things. When people are claiming the name specifically, not and a connection with this character, and saying, okay, here's an auction for Twilight Sparkle. Well, you can't really do that. And
I'm not sure that's actually Hasbro. I've actually heard that that's not actually Hasbro, and it's just people who care far too much about other people's property. And so they've been going around causing trouble, and it's not actually been Hasbro, from what I understand it.
Well, I know in the 80s, Hasbro, with the Transformers line, they lost the rights to several of the names of their main characters, like Shockwave, because another company, Leonard Toys, was, during the lull between one version of Transformers and the other, was releasing characters with the same names. And in the public domain, the name has all the power. Whoever uses the name and has their IP recognized as holding the name takes it on. So at this point, they're really protective of their intellectual property and the names associated with them for that very reason. Because for a while they're doing this resurgence of old toys. They can't use the old names because they've lost to somebody else who's used it more recently.
And
I mean,
well, go ahead.
I'll just say, I mean, I totally understand that. I mean, it is their stuff, and if they don't pursue their ownership of it, they will lose it. I mean, that's why Xerox was very, very up in arms about people Xeroxing things, because they didn't want the name Xerox to become public domain. And that's why Microsoft actually tried to get Windows taken to be a trademark name, even though a window is one of the most banal objects there are in the world, next to doors. So it's kind of crazy like that.
Walmart trying to trademark the smiley face,
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, Hasbro have been very, very good to us, I think. And I totally believe that they should do everything they can to protect their investment, but that protecting also means not screwing over the fan base.
Sure.
Yeah, but I do agree a little bit. Nuriel 86 in the chat just said American copyright laws are such a mess. It really is.
They are, absolutely.
They have not been like really looked at since like the 1920s, and have just had things tacked on to them for years. I think there was some research that was done recently that said the research came out and said most intellectual property should have a copyright of 15 years and then enter public domain.
Sure.
And it's just so that people just like, hey, I have this idea, I'm going to copyright it, and then after 15 years, technology and advancement should have moved forward enough that people should be able to reproduce that without much difficulty.
That's what it was. That's basically what it was, wasn't it? I think it was 20 years, wasn't it? That's basically what it was originally, but
Well, it's now like
Big-
75 years after the death of the inventor.
that's
Yes.
because of Disney. That's because of Disney.
It is absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
that's why
they
you
are
kept seeing,
massively about
you keep seeing Mulan 3 come out now. We
Yeah.
need to make another Steamboat Willie, something like that. Come on, guys. So, but yeah, it looks like she can still definitely make the plushes. So does retain the ability to sell plushes if she acquires a license.
Or if they're called pastel pony creation.
Right.
Sure.
Nondescript pastel pony with wings.
Yeah, she
Nondescript pastel pony in party dress. It's an interesting loophole, and it is totally there.
my
And
personal.
at this point,
Yeah.
I'm just saying my personal equine is totally a line that she can start doing. Or not.
My diminutive equine.
No, I'm trying to remember what it was.
I think it was my diminutive equine.
No, personal small horse. There you go. That was what it is. Personal small horse. She totally can have that line, but yeah, it's just it's unfortunately just a little bit of the thing, and Hasbro does have the right and definitely needs to make sure that they manage the copyright. I think that's part of the entire big like crazy
Firefly.
Oh, yeah.
They lost Firefly, which is why we've got Rainbow Dash rather
Sure.
than Firefly. I mean, it is a definite need there.
So,
and there's a reason that IP and copyright enforcement law is one of the lawyers graduating. That's one of the biggest things to go into right now because it's so labyrinthian. You need a really high-powered lawyer to deal with it for you. So it's just getting worse. It's a mess.
And the lawyers win whatever happens. That's why lawyers are so
Lawyers?
happy these days. They always win.
when lawyers win, we lose. Except
Yeah,
if they're your
basically.
lawyer, I guess you win.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that takes care of that. So yeah, cease and desist was not directly from Hasbro. So we'll see how this progresses. I imagine that we'll probably still end up seeing some White Dove stuff out there. It just will be under a different type, Just has.
Well,
to
that's
be
what they've been
handled.
doing on eBay. It's been pastel equines on eBay.
There you go.
Yeah.
My pastel equine. All right, well, that take care of that. The other big thing that happened this week, I'm not sure if any of you noticed, but Sibsy had a birthday.
Really?
She did. Happy birthday, Sibsy.
They should have made an
Nice.
announcement or something like that.
Should have made an announcement. Everyone should have made a ton of artwork and music and informed her, because I don't even know if she knew by the end of the week that she had a birthday. I'm saying this completely sarcastically. Because if you went into Equestria Daily, there was an entire draw friend just dedicated to Wildfire, who is Sibsy's character.
Sibsy Apocalypse 2012.
Yes. So it was actually really neat. And all I did was I just contacted her, and I just did. There's a personal joke between me and a friend where birthdays we all just yell "birthday," and that's it. It's based off of his nephew.
That's kind of dumb.
No. Okay. No. Okay, I have to explain the story then, because if you think it's dumb.
Okay.
So
No, it's lovely.
I think he had like a 2-year-old nephew that was being called to call him, and it's like, okay, well, talk to your Uncle Ben and tell him happy birthday. And the kid just goes on the phone and goes, birthday! And so from now on, anytime it's anyone's birthday, we just go, birthday! It's just because it's just like ridiculously adorable.
I like the whole
in honor.
brevity thing. That's good.
It's just it gets the point across. If you do it with that kind of volume and that much energy, you don't even have to say the happy part. Everyone recognizes it.
That's true. I might have to change my favorite pony now to Wildfire.
There was plenty of artwork of Wildfire. You can find that there were people who actually went to DHX and gave her one of those giant Enormo cards with artwork that was drawn on it. You can catch a very, very shaky video of that delivery.
Video made me ill. It was hard to watch.
It's like, what does it say? I can't even look at it. It's like it's something just like what paparazzi trying to fight, like to get an image of somebody walking down the street that really doesn't want to be followed by the paparazzi.
Quick,
But-
give the camera to the guy on the trampoline. That'll work.
Yeah. Let's give it to Shaky Hand Bob.
Here, Bob, caffeine, quick.
I've drank 3 Red Bulls. So that was cool. She's done lots of stuff. I actually ended up speaking with her yesterday and a little bit today, and she actually gave me a personalized message out to everyone. So here you go, the words of Sibsy to all of you. I guess I'd like to say thank you to everyone who took time out to stop by and say happy birthday. Thanks to all the wonderful gift art and happy wishes. I was completely overwhelmed and taken aback by the sheer number of people that reached out to contact me. Also, I'd let everyone know that I do read all of what was being sent, but obviously can't respond to everyone personally. It would take too long, but yes, a giant thank you for all the support and kindness. I really appreciate it and it means the world to me. So there you go, a little bit of a thank you from Sibsy, and I know that she might even be listening right now. So Sibsy, we appreciate you.
We love you, Sibsy. You're awesome.
Yep, she is a fan of the show and may just particularly be listening. So just wink to your speakers. We know you're there.
I'm waving to Sibsy.
There you go.
Totally waving.
She's totally out there, guys.
Hoof bumping through the screen.
There you go. That might break a screen. You need to look out.
Yeah, be careful
Oh,
of that.
damn. Too late.
You break screens very quietly though. That's really a skill.
Yeah.
That was considerate, being a podcast and all.
So next little thing that we have here. I didn't even expect this to happen, but Know Your Meme, which I can't actually say meme correctly now, actually had a research that they did on the Brony culture with 3,700 participants. They pulled some interesting just sociological information about us. So the link is in the show notes. Of course, you can find the show notes over at BronyShow.com or BronyvillePodcast.com. But let's see, dig through these, and you guys can definitely take a look and see if there's anything that grabs you. The fandom is overwhelmingly male, 87%. Let's see. Most that were part of the thing were from the great state of California. Woo! With Texas coming in second.
California.
Yep. Country distribution, 62% United States. Social media usage, religion, sexual orientation. I thought the sexual orientation to favorite main character was rather interesting.
I'm going to look at that in a minute. But
Okay.
I'm still stuck on gender of respondents. It's like female, male, unsure.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's like you just unzip and like, I'm not sure today.
Well, it could be transitioning. There are many different
true,
types of
but
people
I'm guessing
in the
then
world.
you're still sure where you want to be. I mean, it's just
and that's the
odd,
one
this
you would-
undefined.
So, someone mentioned ponysexual was an option in it. That's oh yeah.
I don't even know what that is, and I don't want to know what that is.
Don't ask.
Back away,
dear.
back away.
Smile and nod.
No, but here was
United
the part.
States, United Kingdom, Canada, all other countries. So I'm in the 6.11%.
So-
Occupy Bronydom, we are the 6.11%.
So here's the part that me and Sandy were talking about that was rather interesting. Favorite of the main 6 among homosexual respondents, 30% was Rainbow Dash. If you go
Wow.
to heterosexual, it's 17. If you bi, it is 23. So there's definitely some form of what appears to be a correlation between favorite pony and sexual orientation. That's interesting.
Does seem to be, yes.
Rainbow Dash doesn't have to be gay.
No, that's way
That's the rainbow definitely has some meaning. Look at this. Opinions around Grimdark, opinions around shipping. Let's see. Actually,
Favorite pet?
Yep, favorite.
Gummy for the win. Very
Gummy
good.
is definitely winning. Favorite shipping.
Gummy is a very good pet.
Very
He's
good.
right up
Gummy's
there
the
next
best
to
pet.
next to Spike.
Oh, Spike's not a pet though. Spike is Spike. Spike has a pet, thus he cannot be a pet.
It's petception. It's petception.
Wow, and they even have opinions of Rule 34 and everything. So yeah, it's a really interesting deep stuff that actually like answers a lot of like almost our personal questions of just like the Rule 34 thing. It's kind of like, oh, well, okay, this gives you a kind of good idea of what people think about this. Attitude towards furries. Wow, that's a lot of red right there.
This one's interesting. Openness about fandom. I mean, it's a lot of options from I am not a brony to I actively tell people, I wouldn't tell anyone, I tell some people. It's a really broad range.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this and like I was talking a little bit earlier of just like it's almost the duality of why does Hasbro not market to us a little bit more directly. And I'm looking at this purchasing My Little Pony products. I buy official toys models 41%. I do not buy anything, 38. I buy official clothing, 27. I buy fan items, 20. I buy official episodes, 15. You know, and that's percentage. I mean, I buy official toys and models. There you go, 41%. Make us stuff, Hasbro.
Please?
Yeah. Even I have some pony stuff.
Good.
I have a rarity which I brush every day.
Oh.
I have a corner. I have a corner of stuff.
You have a shrine.
I have a room.
I pretty much do. I have the signed BronyCon poster. I've got like some customs made by LOL OMG WTF. She did some great little customs for us. I've got a blob. I've got a Smarty Cider. I've got just all this neat stuff in addition to all like the crazy. Like just having the regular figurines and things like that. Starry has a knitted Fluttershy up there that a fan gave, which thank you so much. That was awesome. That was a great gift for her. And yeah, I mean it's super. Yeah. It's just
you have
all the
swag.
Stuff.
I see.
I've freaking got some swag, Mitty. It's good stuff. So yeah, I find, you know what, I like data. I like looking at stuff, and this is a great little fun a great little fun read. So I suggested it. You'll find out some interesting. I'm still kind of like the Rule 34 and the opinion of other cultures actually really interesting. So I'm glad that this is in there. All right, that's super cool. I may need to parse that later. The last little bit here was a little article I found that was on the Calgary Sun. A good, an awesome VA that you know is the voice of Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie. That's Andrea Libman. And she did this article just talking about, hey, this is what my voice is like, you know, doing My Little Pony. And just the crazy brony phenomenon and what she thinks about it. And she actually answers some questions that appear to be submitted across from some of the fans. So I think there's some really great things in here. There was one little note here. There's a lot of bronies in Calgary than there are in Vancouver, she says, knowing that she does. Oh, it moved. Noting that she does get the occasional tweet there asking her to meet at a library. That's a little sketchy, she says with a laugh. Hey, Andrea, come to the library.
I've got to admit that would creep me out a little bit.
Pixel, let's come to the library.
So it's going to be like a group, right? Nah, it's just me.
Come to the library.
I'll be behind the library in the alley.
Smell like chloroform to you? No! So, sorry to take that there. And yes, she also says, and some of these are good things that you should just know. Like, I think like having them just be, she also says like some of the fun, crazy, interesting things. She's like, this is really weird. It's like people wanting her autograph. You have to understand that a lot of these people don't like, you know, this is the first time of ever having anybody like really clamor to meet them. Sure. So they're kind of taken aback of like, wait, you want me to give you an autograph?
And voice actors are always working. I mean, constantly. They're just kind of going from one project to another. And I think she talked about how people will ask her very specific questions about, hey, what was it like when you did this episode and you said this line? And it's just, I don't really remember. I like the character and I have fun, but it's that Star Trek mentality of remember in episode 13 during the when Spock said this, and it's they don't necessarily stow away all this information for instant retrieval, and they never had to before because no one's ever approached them in this way.
Yeah, it's just they have to. I mean, for the most part, I think it's just it's such an unknown of how it happens. But they go in, they do a recording. She actually states that when she's in there, the animators are actually like with them, so that they can like make some drawings, make some sketches, get some ideas as they're actually going. But for the most part, they go in, they do their lines, they leave. You know, it's the production team that's sitting there the umpteenth hours of the night going, how do I get her hair to bounce? You know, it's just, they're the ones trying to get everything to fit together. You know, they're the ones that are obsessing of just like, this texture isn't coming out right. You know, they're doing all that. The VAs are off, you know, Tara Strong's off doing the voice of, you know, oh God, I'm losing it. But she's doing off any of her multitude of voices, doing Harley Quinn and, you know, all of that jazz.
Lollipop Chainsaw.
Doing the Twilight voice in that, which is,
That blows my mind every time I see a new trailer for it. It's just the disconnect. It's hilarious and disturbing.
How many, like, PMVs are going to be out there once that releases of just sound clips added to Pony stuff of her just saying the worst things on the planet? It's going to be there. It's non-stoppable.
But then Tara Strong is amazing.
Yes,
as well.
There is no doubt.
Let's see. Some of the other questions. What's the singing a song no one's heard before? Are you familiar with the fan culture and remixes? She's not she's not familiar with them, and she doesn't like any songs that have her voice in it.
Yeah, that was interesting to me. That just like a lot of us, she doesn't like the sound of her own voice, even when she's doing a character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I hate the sound of my own voice.
Oh, me too.
I certainly do.
Trust me, I've got the podcast on my phone, and anytime that it's just like I'm listening through one podcast and it clicks on mine, I'm like, no.
I listen to every episode except the ones I appear on, and that's the truth. It's so sad.
It's kind of how it has to be, because it's just like, the ones I hate the most are actually also the ones I'm not on, because the discussion is had, and I'm just like screaming at my iPod, I'd say this! Or when I do listen to an episode, I'm just like, I should say this, and then I do. That's the weirder part. Like listening to a show and being like, this would be a good point to bring up. Oh, I just did that. Going back in time.
That's crazy.
Madness. But yeah, that is, so go check that out. That was a neat little article in the Calgary Sun with Andrea Libman. And I
love these sort of articles.
Yeah, just having them kind of break down and be kind of talk about our weird community, and just be like, yeah, we love it. It's weird. It's kind of crazy and cool. It's really weird. So they seem to love it. They seem to enjoy us. So let's keep that up. Let's not have let's not weird them out too much.
Keep the weird to a dull roar if we can.
A dull roar. Yeah. I enjoy that. And just a little side note, just so you know, we talked about Everfree Northwest having some things. She's also announced to be attending Everfree Northwest. So if you are interested to meet her, I had the pleasure to meet her in December at BronyCon, and she is, she okay. I'm gonna have to say she was my favorite up there. She was my favorite of the VAs. She acts just like a Fluttershy. She and you know, Nicole and oh god, okay, all right, Ashley, were both awesome and super cool. But I just like, there was also the fact of just like knowing her, like all the things she's worked on was just like great. So yeah, she's cool. I'm looking forward to Everfree Northwest a lot. All right, and that takes care of our news segment. We definitely hit that up pretty hard. Lots of chatter on that, which is good. All right, we're going to talk about books. We're going to talk about all these awesome fanfics you should read. And, you know, go check out. I've got a fun one this week. I went in and just decided to kind of play around and see what was inside of there. And I found The Horror Oh, the horror. From a series called There. The basis of it is a comedy random fic, and what happens in it is that Twilight discovers that Spike has been adding typos accidentally to the letters going out to Celestia, and starts freaking out because they're not right, because he's using their THERE when he should be using their THEY''RE. And then she starts discovering that Celestia is sending typos, and then there's a syntax error on the stuff that Rarity does, and she starts going into full just lesson zero mode.
Oh, that sounds
Nice.
awesome. That sounds like the sort of thing they should make into an episode.
It does, yeah.
It is her just going OCD on little tiny things and just completely losing her mind. So if you like a Twilight slowly wigging out fic, you should go see that. It is in the show notes. It is called There. The first chapter is The Horror. Oh, the horror. And what do you got there, Pixel?
The story, I don't read a lot of fan fiction, but just yesterday there was a story posted on Equestria Daily, and I was amazed that this was labeled MM shipping, which you just never see, first of all. And the other thing I noticed was it had like half a star when I saw it earlier in the day. And that in itself was interesting. So I started looking at the comments, and obviously it was just sort of people star bombing it without reading it. So I decided to check it out simply for the sake of giving a prematurely maligned story a bit of a chance, and it was amazing. I don't read a lot of fan fiction, but I've always loved just reading books and novels and things, and it was so good. The shipping aspect, whatever the gender, it's essentially a couple of implied lines at the conclusion of the story, and if not for the tags and the foreknowledge, it would have went right over my head. The story itself, it was touching, and it was kind of a meditation on growing old and adapting to the latter part of one's life. In this case, it was Snails retiring from his job, or being forced to retire actually from his job at a petting zoo. And it's mostly a lot of just internal monologue and him interacting with people and talking about how he feels about it. And it's great. It was a great characterization of him. I love the idea in it that the snail as his cutie mark is just because he takes his time and puts a certain amount of effort into things that maybe other ponies might not do. And all in all, it was just so good. And I felt so bad that it was just downvoted to heck because of one little line, one little tag in the description of it. So I highly, highly recommend it.
And it is, from what I see here, it is complete. So the 2 chapters that are out there,
yes.
If you like complete fics, it is definitely one you can get to. It is a total of about 7.5K words, so you can probably go through it. All right, sounds good. Go ahead and pimp something that looks like it got a little bit of a bad star bomb rap out there. So go ahead and do that. And come on, I always think Snips and Snails are good characters. You just have to just like Applejack, they just have to be used properly.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Yeah, Applejack's my favorite background pony.
oh, you're doing that thing again. You know that thing when you're being really mean. You're doing that.
Oh no, I like Applejack. I do. I like Applejack. I'm being mean.
Yeah, you are. All right, stop being
Such
mean and start telling.
Pants.
So, Mr. Writer Pants, what are you doing?
Well, rather than pimp my own stuff this time, I thought I would link you guys to a wonderfully strange crackfic by Blues called Two Peas in a Pod. And it's... Blue Shift writes 2 types of stories. Both of them are awesome. One of them is pretty much a straight-up story, which is exactly what you think it might be. And the other type is strange, weird, and wonderful stuff like this. This is where Twilight and Shining Armor have a deadly secret. And the secret itself is kind of spelled out in the picture for the story itself. But that's not the twist. The twist is in the lyrical story that this paints a wonderful picture and then it knocks you dead on the last line. And I'm not going to give it away, so you just have to read it and laugh. It's a little bit naughty, but I think I'll let it slide. because it's
It lists
It's
as
all
comedy and random, so I think you're safe.
it is comedy and random. The joke is a bit naughty, but I think you can deal with it.
Rating is everyone. It is a
Yeah.
complete one chapter fic, about 4,000 words, and
Yep.
2 Peas in a Pod by Blue Shift.
Yeah.
Go check that out. Somebody said he's Twilight's PPPFF.
That's the one.
There you go.
I think they actually have that in the fic somewhere.
All right, that takes care of it. That's our 3 fics. We got 3 fics this week. That takes care of the one that we gave you last week. So go check them out. They all sound like that they are good ones to go to if you like well, at least 2 of them are kind of silly random fics, and one a little bit more one definitely a little bit more I would say a little bit more serious but interesting.
Yeah,
So.
definitely serious, but good. Very good.
All right, that sounds good. And now it's topic time. And topic time means email time because this is the email show. What we're going to do is I am going to open up the line. So if you guys want to call in, give a show up on the show, talk about whatever we're going to be talking about, you are more than welcome. Just just find me as Bronyville in Skype, and you can go ahead and give us a call across. Likely what we'd like you to do is talk about whatever the email is. So if there is a particular topic that comes up during this, or maybe at the end there's a topic that you want to bring up, talk about, you are more than welcome to do that. So what we will do is I will start first, Pixel Kitties if you will grab seconds, and Mitty if you will grab thirds.
Okie dokie.
And I know, Pixel, there's one that you want to get. There's one you wanted to cover because you dissected it a bit. So
Yes.
do inform me when that one comes up, and you can take precedent.
All right.
All right, sounds good. I will go ahead and start here with this first one. Dear Starry and random guys in the foreground. Very well done. Best season finale ever. Awesome show. But already there's a Twitter mom saying, the girls are not happy. I should not have let them watch this before I saw it. True, the villain's appearance may have been a bit disturbing and the buzzing of the minions, but really it's not much different than you get in previous generations, right? Admittedly, I haven't seen much of anything G1 through G3.5 except Twinkle Wish Adventure and the video of the schmooze, but still. Anyhow, everyone did a good job, good music, and you guys do good too. Now that the season is over, what are your plans for the postseason? Always a fan, Seamus. I'm trying to I guess if you're oversensitive mom number 32, I guess.
Yeah, this is helicopter mom syndrome.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to say.
I
mean,
looked around
if
and
you're
tried to search for it. I couldn't find that post. I was really curious to read exactly what she said because that's just odd.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, and I'm thinking of other movies to what extent that they kind of bring in that weird creep factor, the extent, and I'm going no, Toy Story 1 had a really creepy characters, and some really scary scenes. I'm going back at to pull, how sanitized does it have to be? Whatever. I think it's just disgruntled mom going, no.
Yeah.
So,
Even G1. Tyrick was a scary guy. I mean, turning ponies into dragons and beating hearts in bags and stuff like that. So it's
pretty harsh stuff. Some of this stuff. I mean, no, really. I mean, really. Thank you, Twitter mom, for sucking all of the life and creativity out of everything.
GB2 strawberry shortcake raw.
Yeah, basically that is my answer to everything. Just go away. Yeah.
And I mean, Chrysalis, I thought she was kind of adorable in a way. She's got the Swiss cheese legs, but the sharp bitey teeth. But then those eyes, those great big green eyes, were really cute. So I don't know.
Yeah, I love the design.
Oversensitive mom number 32 strikes again.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
No, it's
I'm
fine.
going to be sighing all night long. I'm just going to be going,
I think Chrysalis is a great villain. I think in the Spawn villain, I would put her. Okay, question: is she better? I think Discord is still top, but do you think Chrysalis or Nightmare Moon?
Ooh.
Ooh,
I think
that's a hard-
Chrysalis is a better realized villain in a lot of ways.
Yeah, we didn't get a lot of screen time for Nightmare Moon. I mean,
No.
she was there as kind of like a hangnail, and she was there as ominous smoke and stuff.
And her plans were kind of more taunting and tormenting, whereas Chrysalis, she meant business. She showed up and took the place over. So
She was bam, invasion. Yeah, I mean, that immediately gives her a lot more presence.
And she smacked around Celestia. No!
Yeah, useless Celestia.
Yeah, I told you the reason why I think it happens is because the shield was obstructing the sun.
She's solar powered. You could be right.
I mean, just like Superman,
Love is the best version of friendship. Blah 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 blah.
Love is in bloom.
But
beautiful bride, handsome groom.
She's supposed to raise the sun and the moon, and she gets smacked around by a bug. Oh.
Now, I'll tell you what, if they ever, which will never happen, but if they were to remake the first 2 episodes of the series with the Nightmare Moon from Luna Eclipsed, with the sharp teeth and all that stuff, now that would be kind of bad. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
Do you see, if we went into like 5th and 6th seasons, would you see them doing that? Like the return of Nightmare Moon? That would be really, if they figured out a way to do that, that would actually be kind of cool.
Time twins. Yeah, they have to travel back in time and set right what once was set wrong.
Cutie Mark Crusade time travelers. Is that is that what we're saying? CMC's got to go back and show how they actually saved the world from Nightmare
Quantum
Moon.
Trot all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it should be.
Quantum
That'd be
Canter.
And they're all working behind the scenes, making sure that everything is okay for the main 6 as they are trying to stop Nightmare Moon.
Oh, admit it. That would be an awesome episode.
That would be super.
They should make that into a proper movie. That would be awesome.
Then they all get cutie marks that reflect it, and they become official time travelers. Great.
It would. So much headcanon now. That's going to be so awesome.
So the other question that is inside of here, now that the season is over, what are the plans for the postseason? Our plans are to do these shows as regularly, do a live show at noon, at least something. Even if the show has to be pushed back a little bit, I'll do a Cider games or something like that. Keep you kind of placated at noon on Saturdays, so you can go and find us on Justin TV. I should put a link on the site so that way you could easily get to it, but you can follow me on Twitter. And the other thing that you should do is we will probably be doing more of the tabletops. We will be doing more other like fun stuff with that, so you can look forward to that. We'll be kind of trying out some new things. I've got a announcement for the next episode, which will actually be pretty fun. I'll tell you what, I'll do it right now. The next episode that we're going to do is that I am partnering, we ourselves, the Bronyville podcast, are actually going to be partnering with Equestria Daily, and we are going to be assisting them on their Q&As. So we will be actually there with them, helping take the questions that will be going on their Q&As. They will be on the show. It will be kind of a little bit hybrid. So we'll talk a little bit about the news and then get into all the Q&A questions with them. And it will be posted right there on the front page of Equestria Daily. So you kind of get a little synergy there. So that will be a fun little thing. Looks like we're going to do pretty much once a month going forward. So. At least until the season kicks up, the season 3 kicks up, and we'll see how things transfer. But just a little bit of a collaboration between the two sites. It'll be fun.
Neat.
So you're totally going to miss out on helping us with our pre-reader Q&A then, which we're doing straight after this show.
I know, I totally will. But I'm actually after the show going to a convention, a tabletop gaming convention.
Oh, cool.
To go
Nice.
Meet Roger Marsh, the guy that did the My Little Pony or the Savage World of My Little Pony. So
that's great.
Gonna
That'll
go
be cool.
meet him.
Awesome.
That's going to be fun. So, it's going to be totally fun. And we're going to talk pony and other funness. So that's going to be great. What about you guys? I'm sure that you're just going to keep arting it up over there, Pixel.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm trying to finish some things now. I'm doing something for you and Sandy. I'm doing an album cover for Living Tombstone and several other things. I'm doing something with the Epic Web Time guys again, and after that, I really want to start focusing on the convention stuff because the cons are so much fun. It's just great traveling and getting to meet everyone and hopefully soaking up some of the amazingness of people like Lauren Faust and Tara Strong. So
Get to try and
That
sneak some
sounds
time
awesome.
in with them. Just be like,
Oh,
hey,
yes.
what's going on? I do some stuff, you know.
I do things sometimes. Yeah, I'm trying
might
to
have heard
decide
of
what
me.
to give them.
Yeah.
You're important.
trying to help
I'm
us more.
important. We should hang. Here, let my people call your people.
Call your people, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Totally go,
except
"I
not at
shall-"
all.
You have people. That's how important you are.
Yes. Starry
I
is
mean,
my
I-
Starry
I-
is my people, which
Huh?
is great.
That's true. That's true.
Mitty, what about you? What's your plans?
Well, we're totally going to be reviewing a bunch of fics, probably. I'm actually, honestly, going to be finishing the story I started about 18 months ago.
Lies.
Which lies, no,
Lies.
honestly. Oh man, it's eating me up inside. And of course, like I said, we are doing totally our own podcast because we're just that awesome. Which is totally going to be better than this one. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. Starry already thinks that any podcast besides this one is totally just a copycat. So
Well, it is. It
It
is.
is.
But we have fun doing it. So.
it's the fun of being first when you do something for a fandom. It's just like, yeah, everyone copied us. We're trendsetters.
First.
we can be the hipsters. Just be like, oh yeah, we did that before it was popular. Isn't that great?
Yeah, talking about ponies on the internet.
Yeah.
That's so last week.
Yeah, we made that.
Oh,
we
I
made
wondered.
that.
I wonder what that would be like. Oh, it's probably like my show. So,
Oh, I have a show like that too. Yeah.
been doing it for a while. What do you think? All right. All right, Pixel, mind grabbing the next one?
Not a problem. Hello, my name is Promissa Fidel, and I love your show. Keep up with the awesome broadcast. Anyway, I am writing in response to your episode about mystery on the Friendship Express. Actually, I am specifically referring to a question posed to you after the interview about Applejack. You were saying that in order to have a good episode with her, there would need to be some sort of big problem she'd have to solve. Well, Applejack is my favorite pony, and I think your ideas are good, but I think there's more in her character to explore. I believe the real key to unlocking Applejack's character is by further exploring the Apple family's dynamics. Applejack is practically defined by her love of family. She'd do anything for them. It's her heart and her strength that helps hold them all together. It would be so cool to have an episode featuring a problem with the Apple siblings. Besides, we could have more Big Mac lines. Yes, I know the Cider episode and Family Appreciation episode talked about the apples, but I think we should see a perspective outside of apple blooms for a change. Sorry, I get very wordy. What's your take on this?
My take is that's kind of similar to what I was suggesting. The idea of it being that there is some problem that is happening in Ponyville, and just AJ goes, I could get my kin down here. We could fix this up in a moment, and everybody else is trying to like, well, let me use my magic here. We can fly over here, and she's just like, no, we need more. We need more people to help that are willing to help. And, it just turns into one of these things where it's just like the massive, amount of help that the Apple family can bring just by AJ saying, hey, let's go hang. We're going to have a gathering. Let's all band together, and they'll just swoop in and take care of it. That is what I think at least one story could be about.
I love that idea. I think that's great.
Yeah. Are you listening, Sibsy? I am. No, just kidding. You are not in that department, but pass my notes. No, it's
I have in my right hand a napkin with show notes that you really need to look at.
Ooh.
I am just going to set this napkin, which seems to be littered in words, over on this side
And
of the
coffee
table.
stains.
If this napkin happens to leave the table, I have no knowledge of no. So of it ever appearing. What do you guys think? Things that could be done to try and make AJ a more compelling character?
Well, I agree. I mean, I've often said it's kind of difficult to choose a favorite pony because they're all so individually great. And I love Applejack. She's sort of like Rarity in that when she was first introduced, I sort of expected this one-note stereotype character. But she's really fun. I mean, she's really likable, like genuinely likable. And she's like the sane one compared to all the various crazies of Ponyville. So she really needs an episode to shine. And the writer was right in that it seems like a lot of the episodes with her, we see her from Apple Bloom's perspective. But I think we need to get inside her head a little bit. And even the last roundup, which was ostensibly all about her, it was more about her friends solving the mystery of what's wrong with her. It wasn't really about her or solving a problem on her own. So we need some Applejack-centric episodes immediately.
Stat.
We do.
Yeah, the only thing, so the good thing with Rarity, so if you think with Rarity, she had the generosity, so her like big come out was the dress episode where, you know, you saw her being generous to the extent of just making her life miserable.
Yes.
How would you do that with honesty? Just honest to the extent that she is being so honest that she is putting herself, just by being honest about how she thinks about something, that is putting the other, all the other characters at odds with her.
Or what if she was in the position where she was entrusted with a secret from some of her friends, but the information was relevant or needed by some of her other friends, and it puts her in this weird quandary where, well, how honest is honest? How honest do I have to be, and where do my loyalties lie for that sort of thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, she is a hard character because she is essentially flawless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's always been her trouble. I mean, we've had the view of her when she's being very, very stubborn, and we've had the view of her when she was too proud to come home again, which gave us something to look at. But I don't know how to do it. You're right.
In her defense, she did have possibly the best line of the entire season, which was, "I didn't learn a thing." I mean, that was one of the funniest things that happened the entire season. But other than that,
yeah, that was the best thing, I have to say. That was brilliant.
Yeah. We actually had a whole group try and call in, guys. I can't actually take we're already in a group, so if you're trying to call on Skype, I have to only take one at a time. Just so you know, I think about 5 or 6 people were going to try and jump on the phone. I think that's some ideas of how you could deal with AJ. I think it's a good idea. There's ways you can do it. I really think that once she has her episode, you know, it will be something where I think she's interesting enough and can be fun enough, just in her silliness and just like her. I don't want to say boneheaded, but just she's so like dense at times that it can be something that could be really fun. So I don't, it's just something where once you can get through that and she finally gets an episode where we go, yes, Applejack, you know, it'll be great.
It could be fun if she completely fails to keep a secret.
Well, if it's something
because she's on it, she just can't keep a secret.
And
then we have to learn the price of secrets.
Mm-hmm. Just if I keep this secret, it'll hurt someone, but I don't want to keep. But it's like, yeah, that kind of stuff. All right, that sounds good. Mitty, if you will go ahead and handle the next. Hey, wait a second. There's been some modifications to this email.
A minor modification.
I see. Go ahead.
It says, "Hey AC," and Chef Sandy is scrolled out, so it's Midnight Shadow and Pixel Kitties. Love the show. Been listening for a few months and glad you guys are still chugging along. I just wanted to beg your guys' thought on something. I'm reading this verbatim, guys. Generally speaking, when fan-made content is mentioned by public or well-known media outlets, it's almost always the PMVs. The musicians and the artists who get the spotlight, and not the fanfic authors. Did you actually put this one in so I take this one?
No, not at all. This is all Starry's ordering, so this is total happenstance.
I'm blaming Starry, but then she's allowed to do.
Before I knew you were on the show, so shut
and enjoy
I got told.
enjoy the waves of love. This is every day with Starry with me. Just all this raging, hateful love. Just all right. Go ahead.
And I found the furry stuff at the bottom of the apple juice packet. Yeah.
You should never start trying to find the furry stuff. It'll only disappoint you.
Yeah. It's on my tongue.
It's going to be the first poisoning on Bronyville podcast.
Come for the ponies, stay for the extreme apple juice drinking.
Good grief. Anyway.
Come on, honey. We need to do a show.
I am a bit of an artist, but more of a fanfic author before anyone asks. Now, admittedly, fanfic, at least to me, in the past has always been both this creepy stigma and low expectations attached to it. But with some of the MLP fanfics that I got immersed in, well, we all know that's just not the case here. There is certainly still less than quality fanfics around, but the amount of top quality fanfics around more than balance it out. I can totally understand why fanfics don't get mentioned much by most. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has been or still is possessed with that prejudice. And on top of that, just think about how long it takes to read a fanfic versus how long it takes to listen to a piece of music or look at a piece of art. The time investments between the three types of content varies wildly, but generally speaking, fanfics take longer to consume than either music or art. So, I can see how this makes sense. I was just wondering what you guys thought on the topic. Side note, vinyls are totally red. Magenta plus blue lightning does that, cough. Much love and keep on rocking, Melionos, aka Blue Sparks. And there's a bunch of PSs here. So, PS, what's your guys' favourite fanfic ever? You guys make recommendations every week, but I'm just curious to know. PPS, I'm totally not just nosing around to see if people still remember me. Honest, cough, hack, sneeze, cough. PPPS, by the way, if you guys ever find yourself in need of a guest, I'll go get out. I'm not reading the rest of that one. You're fired.
That is quite quite a happenstance. You're reading this MIDI. By the way, I'm sorry to say, no, it's Magenta Eyes for Scratch. It was confirmed as the same eye palette as Rainbow Dash. Wah wah wah. Just to make you feel bad. As for fanfic, I mean, there's a reason why we do fic every time we do this show. I mean, if the fanfic out there was total waste, then yeah, we wouldn't do it. But there's enough good stuff. Favorite fic has got to be Sunny Skies All Day Long. I mean, that is, if you want a fic that I go, take this, give it to the staff, it is an episode there. That is the one I will say. Like, it is a wonderful little condensed episode style fic. I think it works. Just it's a fun one. So that, if I ever have to say what is your favorite, I will go with that. This week I actually also finished Allegriza, and that was great. I heavily enjoyed finishing that up. 16 chapters, just going a few nights and barreling through the last ones, and just the interactions between Scratch and Octavia I had a great time with. But that's where I go with that. Mitty, what about you? You write?
I have to say, Sunny Skies All Day Long is definitely one of my favorites. I mean, I've read far too many to actually pick out an absolute favorite. It'd be easier for me to tell you what's my favorite, the favorite of my own work is, but that would be terrible, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I mean, fanfics take a long time to do well. I know it takes a long time to do pictures very, very well, but to appreciate a picture, you could just glance at it and say, yeah, that's amazing. But you kind of have to follow reading a fanfic for weeks or months in some cases to fully appreciate it. It is a hard thing to balance. So, and yeah, we get a lot of really bad stuff, which is probably why there are pre-readers. Otherwise,
oh, yeah.
You would. Everybody thinks their stuff is brilliant the first time around. It's not. I already hate most of my older stuff, so there you go.
Pixels Kitties, you are an artist, the counterpoint to his obviously biased writer intent.
I mean, everything. Melionos, that was who wrote in. they said
Yeah.
is true. Fiction requires a commitment of both time and attention from the reader in a way that the other types of art don't. You can sit down and you have to sit down and actively decide to read a story and kind of engage with it for a period of time. But you can listen to a song while you're working or watch a PMV on one monitor while you're doing whatever on a different monitor. Art, especially, you have an instantaneous visceral connection to it. It's in front of your eyes. You love it, you hate it, or you're indifferent almost immediately. But at the same time, fiction, I think, can be far more intimate and engaging, which is why you see a lot of fics become legendary in a way that other art forms really don't. There's music, art, there's sort of a flavor of the moment, and something's popular, like a flash in the pan, and then it's pretty quickly replaced by something else that's new. But a lot of the fiction, I mean, Fallout Equestria, My Little Dashie, or even something like Cupcakes, it gets such a reaction out of people, good, bad, or otherwise, that it endures and it becomes kind of part of the legend. And people are talking about these right now to this day, and they've been around forever. So, yeah, I think it's harder for people to really get into necessarily, but boy, it can certainly be worth it. And it makes a huge footprint on the community.
Yeah, that's. I mean, they really do endure. It takes a phenomenal piece of artwork to really endure. A fic can endure for a longer time.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
go on.
I'm trying to think of my favorite picture, and it's a lot harder to name one.
Absolutely. And I also want to say real quick, I followed the link that they provided in their cough, hack, sneeze section of the document. And their story, Black and White, is one I actually happened to read, and I really liked it. It was a while ago, but it was really poignant and sweet and powerful. So well done. You're a really cool author, and one I've actually happened to have come across in my limited fanfic reading. So that's awesome.
I think I read that one too. I don't think I read the other one, Walking Sun. No, don't think I've read that one, but I have read Black and White. Yeah. Oh, it's Bonbon and Lyra. Oh, I'll have to read that one now later.
And Octavia.
Tavi, Bonbon, and Lyra. There you go. All the background ponies. Maybe even Applejack will show. Oh, what am I doing?
Scratch Tavia forever. Oh.
It on the KYM, it was the favorite ship. Just to go back to that for a little bit. All right, I'll go ahead and hit this one. Salutations, Cider, Sandy, Starry, and special guests. I adore the podcast and been listening since I became a brony sometime at the beginning of Season 2, but now that Season 2 is over, I am wondering what the fandom is going to do to hold out until Season 3. I heard that between Seasons 1 and 2, the community created a ton of content to keep the fire alive. I'm hoping the same enthusiasm returns in full force. I'm ready to contribute to the content pool, but the fandom is vast and a little overwhelming here. Not to mention setting a precedent of high-quality material. I was wondering if there were any bronies in leadership roles, if not leadership per se, and are there similar community resources for us foals of the fandom? Thanks in advance for if this gets answered, and keep up the fantastic work. Your faithful listener, Metro Ponytan. P.S. Best Pony? While I love any one of the main six for many reasons, I can't help but feel that the title of Best Pony belongs to our Helen of Troy, the mare that launched over 9,000 ships of veritable brony civil war. She is our medium to our deities, Studio B, DHX, Lauren Faust. She is the very symbol of this fandom. I must pledge my allegiance to one Miss Derby Hooves. I enjoyed how I did that.
That was good. That was very dramatic.
Once it started going, I just had to.
Seat, edge of. Yes.
Let's see. What should they do? Oh, man. just saying, what should I do? It kind of goes like, I don't know. What do you want to do? There's a lot.
Something I've seen a lot of people talk about in terms of why they're not doing art or contributing to the community is they're saying, well, there's all these already established people and they're so much better and they're already so well known, and what's the point? Don't let concerns about popularity or being brilliant right out of the gate stand in your way. Just start putting yourself out there, because that's what everyone did, and that's the only real way to get started. If you're an artist, get a DeviantArt account. If you're an author, I guess film fiction, or just start writing and sharing with friends. The primary thing you can do is just get your content out there and get the feedback, the good and the bad, and every so often the trolling. But whatever you're doing, just kind of hold true to what you love about the show and why you want to give back and how you want to express it. And don't get discouraged by the criticism. Just embrace it and get better because of it.
Yeah, do what you can.
Yeah, and you will improve and you will get better and people will notice you. But don't make that the whole point of it. The community moves at a breakneck speed. And, you look at Equestria Daily's Draw Friend every night. 30 to 50 new pieces of art on display every night without fail, Monday through Sunday. There is definitely room for you. And there's absolutely always new ways to approach the content and tell a different story.
I mean, if you want something that might be a fun way to think up ideas, I go back to last season, or during the break last season, someone made an achievement list. You can find it if you go to Equestria Daily and search for achievement list, you can find it. And it is just a whole list of write a fic about this, write a fic about this, write a fic about that. Draw a picture, draw this, do a podcast. It's just all these different things that you can do. And if you really feel like you want to contribute, you can test out a few of those things, see if they gel with you. If they don't, drop it, try something else. It's just a way to find a way to contribute what is out there, to whatever is out there, to whatever communities. If there's something you are skilled in that you feel like you can, I'm a 3D modeler. Well, you can definitely start looking out to some of the games or the groups or things like that, to try and to contribute in those particular ways. But if there's not something you feel that you're particularly driven to, go check out that achievement list and see if you've got something that you that kind of catches your eye, or if there's something that you think you might be interested in. Because I think just from the way that the email sings, it's just like, I want to do something, but I just don't know what. And I think just having a few ideas and just having something that kind of sets a goal for you might be the right way to go at it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you, Metroponytan. Pixel, if you may grab the. Oh well, actually, let me see. Is the one after it the philosophical question? I'm trying to see by the orderings. There's a highlighted. Okay.
One of them is pink.
Yeah, I was wondering why one was pink. Is there?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay, nobody knows why it's pink. We will continue to course. Pixel, if you may grab the next one.
Okay. Let's see here. It's the one right before the pink one. Yeah.
Yes, that would be it.
Greetings, every pony. I just wish to congratulate you guys for the fantastic job you've been doing for a year already. It's great to know for sure that every week on Wednesdays I'll have something entertaining to listen to. I'm also sure you'll be able to do great once again through the following months where no new episodes will be aired, and make it easier on all of us. Also, please do more live shows. Hey, it does not necessarily have to be 3 hours long. Don't stress yourselves out too much, but it sure was fun to see it take place. Very professional, guys. Now, I have a question for you. Not to the MLP-related show, but to yours, because either I can't recall you saying it or you haven't. But taking into account that it might have been your birthday, my question to you is, how was the show started? What do you mean? What do I mean? Well, I want to know about the birth of this year-long program. Who came up with the idea? How did you get in contact? And once you saw you could be going somewhere with it, how did you plan and organize? Was it mostly AC and his bad ideas and Chef had to steer you the right way? Well, that is all then. Thank you very much for what you have done. Keep it up, and once again, fantastic job. Silver Stare. P.S. If someone has to choose a favorite episode, perhaps it's better to categorize between a two-parter and a single shot. Seems a little unfair to those other episodes that have less time. I choose the Royal Wedding episode and Lesson 0 as my favorites. Also, Twilight Sparkle is best pony.
Yes.
Don't be sad, Chef Sandy. You are best host.
Boo! Boo!
PPS.
You got told.
You guys have a 5-star iTunes review from Argentina. Hola, Argentina. Just letting you know you truly reach everywhere.
Man, that was a good troll right there. Set it up.
Burn!
Sick burn. We need a doctor here.
So, Mitty, explain how you set up the show. Just kidding.
I actually can. I mean, basically, we were talking about doing our. I'm going to do this now. You've unleashed a
all
floodgate.
right. I want you to explain how we started our show.
This should be good.
I'm curious about
Your show? Your show?
Yes.
Who cares about your show?
Oh, okay.
I was going to talk about mine.
Wait, you have a show someone watches?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, what is it?
I'm totally abusing my awesome blog pony powers and posting it to EQD. It's the pre-reader Q&A, which we're doing totally to rival you, because somebody has to do the podcasting show thing right. It's probably not us actually, but there you go. Yeah, we went through 8 months of let's do a podcast, and eventually I said, right, that's enough. We're doing a podcast, and we did.
Congratulations! That's how you actually do a podcast.
Basically, yeah.
That is it. It has to always go past the point where somebody gets sick and tired of talking about it and actually does it. So yeah, that's. It didn't take me 8 months. Correct. So yeah, me and Sandy both knew each other. I had done podcasts in the past. He still actually technically does podcasts of a different sort, and I was starting to talk a lot on my Twitter going, oh, okay, this My Little Pony show is kind of good, and I kind of want to talk about it, and I've done podcasts in the past, and there's not any podcasts out there. I kind of want to do a show. And I knew Sandy, and I was like, you're kind of obsessive about this too. Why don't we get us and some friends together, just talk about the show, get it out of our system, shake it out, and then just toss it. And of course, anything that I do, that just means I keep going, because I end up never 90%ing anything. I have to 100. So what that meant was, it was just like, okay, all right, we got to do this. What are we going to do for the name? I don't care. Let's just go. So we recorded the first episode. We went, that felt really good. Let's do another next week. Then we did another. Then we did the next. And then it just became a ritual where it's like, all right, set up a web page, get this up, start RSSing, all right, and then it's a show. So, that helps that me and he both have done podcasts in the past, so we both kind of knew, like, okay, RSS needs to be set up, we need to have a web page, this is where everything needs to be hosted, we need enough bandwidth, and then it just, for the most part, a lot of it does kind of turn into Apple Cider's bad idea parade, where I'm just like, and now buttons, just like, Sandy, I had this idea. We should have a whole episode done backwards. What do you think? Sure. Go for it, Cider. How are we going to do it? I don't know. I'll figure it out.
I am now combing iTunes for Apple Cider's bad idea parade, and I am not finding it, and I'm really disappointed because I want to hear that.
Yeah, you should.
Is that what I should have a side cast and call it Apple Cider's bad idea parade?
He keeps threatening to unleash the blooper reel on the universe.
That is still out there. I still need to get Mitty to actually, or I still need to get M to actually formulate some of the season 1 bloopers that we had. But there is some definite great crazy that is.
By the way, hi M. No one ever says hi to M, and he is awesome.
They say
he is.
They do say it sometimes in the email, but yes, M Bullshit, who does our show, who does all the audio editing for us, for other podcasts. He has his own show called something Cavalcade. You better look out. It's kind of a crazy show, a little bit, and that's kind of. I'm trying to see what other did I answer everything? How did it start? What do I mean? Let's see how we plan and organize. If I have to say anything, if you're doing something, doing Google Docs is amazing. Like just sharing out a Google Doc and have everybody writing and putting information into it. Like it seriously makes doing this so much fun, and like lots of equipment. Like I have so much gear here. I have gear I need to get rid of. But it's fun because it makes me look all classy. Like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, he does have a sweet setup, I gotta say. Back in ye old days of episode 6 when you had the video chat, you showed me half your stuff. It was pretty cool.
I don't have that right now. I could actually pull it and maybe later at some point actually show the setup that I've got. But it's grown and kind of gotten more a little bit more complex, but a little bit simpler in some of the ways that we're doing things. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I might do that after this, depending if I can find a webcam. Oh, look, I found a webcam. Cool. It's connected to the stand that we're on because Starry uses this for her own live streams of Saber Kitty Scribbles. You can find that on live stream, correct? That is on live stream. She does shows every once in a while, and she's done sketchbooks. I
missed them last time. I was so upset. I was like, oh no, she had a stream and I missed it.
Yeah, she just finished up a whole Sweetie Belle, Pinkie Pie, Derpy sketchbook that she painted up, and. Who are you doing next? Good to hear. 'Cause I know I'm an ass. All right, and thank you for the iTunes review. That is super cool. I probably need to check and see how many reviews we have in Argentina. That is Argentina. Yes, just like that. That's how they say it.
No, I'm just kidding.
And they all talk like that too. How did you know? That's not like stereotypical at all.
Actually, that's Mexican. My bad.
That's kind of stereotypical too.
I love you, Mexico.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go again.
Oh, lo siento, Tina.
Add in a new flag for her I love X country this week.
No.
Have to get some agua ese.
She loves Germany and Mexico. That is correct. She is cheating on Germany.
She's cheating on Germany with Mexico.
Yes. I think they did that in World War I.
I think so. Yes.
Oh. We're going to start World War III all by ourselves, aren't we? Here,
pretty much going that way.
No. There can't be World War III because then it involves nukes and we all die.
This is getting morbid real fast.
Ponies take over.
This is getting real fast. Yes, everything happens 1,000 years in the future where ponies have taken over from the fallout. Yes, all right, let's keep going. Mitty, please, take the next one. Take the pink.
It's very pink. I'm unable to do a pink accent, so I shall do my classic British accent some more.
Boy.
It says, Dear Apple Cider, Chef Sandy, Starry Night, and awesome guests. Before I write my question, I would just like to thank you for creating such a great show. Suck up.
Hey,
Sorry.
I like those suck-ups.
That's true. It is a great show. I don't say that just because I'm on here. It is actually a good show. I listen to a few episodes of your podcast every day when I'm at work, and it helps me get through the daily grind with a smile. Same here, actually. Anyhow, the question I wanted to ask you is this. MLP FIM has such a rich cast of villains, like Discord, the Flim Flam Brothers, Trixie, Gilda, and the Changelings. Do you think the show could benefit from having recurring villains instead of just one-shot appearances? Your faithful listener, Captain Crook. P.S. Rainbow Dash's best pony to burn 6, and Mare is best pony of them all. P.P.S. Iron Wheel is best non-pony. Wow.
I don't know how I feel about any of those decisions for bests.
Mare, that is an unusual choice. I'm not going to say yay or nay, but good on you for bucking the trends. Very good.
I'll say nay. Yeah. Nay. All right.
We don't get many
naysayers.
Thank you, Trixie. Trixie, everyone. Trixie's in that. All right.
Yeah, okay.
Congratulations.
Recurring villains, I think, we do have to have some recurring villains. But we haven't really had recurring villains since the 1980s, have we, in shows like these? I mean, was there ever recurring villains in My Little Pony? There has been in Care Bears and stuff.
Well, are we looking specifically at, like, little girls show? What we would call little girls shows? Would we, like, think of anything like that? Because, I mean, you could go, like, to Teen Titans and things like that, and, you get, like, recurring villains all over the place.
Sure.
Yeah, they were. I mean, sure. I mean, Skeletor was all up in this house all over the place, wasn't he? For He-Man.
That meanie head Skeletor.
He was like,
Skeletor's Castle Grayskull doing...
Skeletor all up in here, yeah. A lot of the time, wasn't he?
More like a cat.
That's how he talked. He was always like that. Like,
Skelikitten.
Give me another cut of milk, meow. I'm going to get you, meow. Bless you, He-Man. I got a hairball, meow.
I have sincerely destroyed Starry.
And his henchman, Perman, perhaps?
Oh, boy. It's all right, honey. It's all right.
Is she breathing?
I don't know. All right, let's get back on track so I can actually have a girlfriend by the end of the show. I think, as I said, I think that you would agree, Pixel, having Trixie back would be nice.
I hope we have some more Trixie in the near future, but I don't know. The thing about some of the villains is they're not really villains in a certain way. I mean, look at Iron Will. He wasn't really a villain. The Flim Flam brothers were kind of jerks, but not really villains per se. I think villain is sort of Discord and Chrysalis.
Yeah, and we need to have Chrysalis again as well.
Isn't that? I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but hasn't John Delancey been saying, "Oh, I might be back next season" or something like that? Is that a rumor or something he said?
Well, I think he did say that he did some more voices for it, but and so a lot of people were wondering if Discord would come back in the final 2 episodes, but he didn't. So maybe Discord is back next season. We don't know.
I'm in favor of that.
Could be back. Could be some sort of like cut back history-ish thing. I mean, when we've been like clamoring for a little bit more expanded history.
World building, yay!
You know, finding out that there are villains that are working for the major villains, and like, oh, now we're getting into like sub villains that are below other villains. Diamond Dogs are now working for Discord. Pandemonium.
Oh, I love that idea. They should do that.
That is a really good idea. Once again, put that on the napkin.
That in my stories.
Slide that. Diamond Dogs working for Discord. You don't got to pay a dime. Do that. I would be all for it. As I said, I would like Trixie. Trixie would be interesting. Gilda coming back. I still adhere that I think Gilda could make a return, and especially since they made a friggin' toy. You know, that it makes a ton of sense. Yeah, she might. You don't know. Oh, that's a middle finger. They couldn't feel that across the internet, but I could.
But you can't bleep that out.
I can't. I really can't. You die laughing and then you're angry. This is the 2 ranges of emotions that Starry Night has: rage and joy. All right, so I think that would be fine. Just having, I would be fine with reoccurring, but I really like the villains the new villains we get. We didn't think like. We went, Discord's pretty cool, and then like Chrysalis shows up, and we're like, what? That's craziness. So, yep, go with that. Are you guys still there?
We had pink text to the max, and now we shall move on.
Moving away from pink text. All right.
That's so last podcast.
And we're streaming once more. All right, I will continue. Last time we completely broke our stream. Now we're just only moving on. All right, my turn. Dear Chef Sandy Apple Cider, and whichever guests are present, I have been quickly catching up on your podcast, and I'm currently at episode 35, so I still have plenty to catch up on, and also plenty of time to hear us read your email. I do love your podcast and hope you may read this on the air, which we are. I would like to bring up that an episode of Lunar Eclipse in which Apple Cider enjoys very much, yet may be oblivious to the issues with it. In the pilot episodes Friendship is Magic Part 1 and 2, no one knew who Nightmare Moon was, except for Twilight, who did her research. Yet the next season on Lunar Eclipse, there was an entire holiday devoted to her, which had been a part of equestrian tradition for longer than 1 year. I would like to hear your thoughts on the rather big plot hole in this series. Thank you for reading this email, a fellow Brony, David. P.S. Rarity is best pony, and Rainbow Dash is the worst of the main 6. All right, hold on. Starry's going to break this down.
That's why this one is in here, Starry, isn't it? Because Rainbow Dash hate.
Yeah, Starry wants to break it down. Go ahead, lady.
No, They did know that Nightmare Moon existed, but they thought she was a fairy tale.
There you go.
Yeah.
Boom, walk away.
Weak. Boom goes the dynamite.
You know, this is an incredible show with sharp, witty writing, beautiful animation, engaging characters, but it's not Game of Thrones. I mean, it's talking magic ponies with pictures of fruit and flowers on their butts. So at some point, they're going to have some world building hiccups here and there, and that's okay. That's all right. I'm all right with that.
I'm just gonna sit over here in the grumpy corner. I mean, you should take yourself seriously, guys. I mean, it seems to me, as a grumpy fanfic writer here, that there are two sets of writers for this show. Both of them are enormously talented, but one set hasn't bothered reading the show Bible and or doesn't care. So they write fantastic stuff with fantastic characters and scenes that I love. I mean, and Mayor Duell is the biggest example of that. It's a brilliant homage show to superheroes everywhere, but it breaks the world in two. Suddenly you've got electricity, you've got steel girders, you've got open pit mining to fuel the Industrial Revolution that hasn't happened in the rest of the episode.
Sorry, we're rolling.
Seriously.
We're also rolling on the ground because Tetrapony just made the I love German and made it I love Mexico by adding a sombrero.
Oh, that's awesome. You've totally destroyed my rant, though.
I know.
It was a good rant. I was totally listening.
Yeah, but no, okay. I'm just sombrero. Trying to be romantic and angry, and you totally sombrero me up with that.
Join us next week when she loves Australia.
Oh dear.
Oh man.
Brace yourself. Mexico is coming.
It is a lovely sombrero.
Why? It is a lovely sombrero.
I can't be angry when Starry Night is giggling in the background.
This sombrero might be showing up in your library soon.
Derailed by sombrero.
Come meet Starry at your local library. She'll talk about what country she enjoys.
Oh dear. Am I allowed to rant now? I mean,
go ahead. Go and rant.
It's totally given me time to scrape the last of the apple fluff off of my tongue. So, oh, that was nasty. I have to say to everybody, if the apple juice tastes funky, pour it out into a glass at least first. Don't drink it out the carton.
Don't be like Midnight and actually drink it.
Because I can still taste the half decomposed apple in my tongue, and it's really really bad. Back to my
what you
rant.
get for getting flim flam right there.
It was totally like the Flim Flam Brothers moment when this mine's got rocks in it. Oh, yeah. It's awful.
And yet instead of asking for your money back, you kept drinking it.
Well, you've got to get your money's worth somehow, haven't you? You've paid for it now. It's like, I'm going to enjoy it.
So pour it on some weeds or something. Don't put it in your body. That's not good.
Yes, Missing Pony says, rant.
I will rant. I mean, come on, guys. Okay, you're sitting there, you're writing this show, you've got this whole massive, magical, wonderful world, and you break it. Why? Take yourself seriously. Take the show seriously. It might be for little girls, but take it seriously. Find a way to fit the stuff that you're being demanded you fit in without breaking everything. Because, I mean, like I said, Mayor Duell, lovely episode, but suddenly they've got machines that Earth ponies are using rather than using Pegasi to carry stuff. They've got hydroelectric dams to produce electricity that they don't need because they are magical. Don't break the world, please. I mean, the finale to season 2. Again, we've got Celestia, princess of the sun itself. We've got Luna, regent of the depths of the deepness of outer space, and we've got Cadence, Princess of Babysitting. Why?
She's a lesser princess, let's be honest, but
We all start somewhere, right?
I know, but she didn't need to be a winged unicorn. I mean, it's just there were supposed to be two, and they were supposed to be god-level creatures, and suddenly there's Princess of Babysitting. And on top of that, you've blown away Twilight. Twilight was this geeky recluse who needed to get out and have friends. All of a sudden, she's well-adjusted with a family and a babysitter that she really loves. You've totally changed Twilight from geeky to shy.
she was still awkward and like avoiding people while reading books. I mean, she wasn't she wasn't a complete shut-in. I mean, it wasn't like she goes to Ponyville and she goes to Ponyville just like, did you read this book? Like, jeez, don't go see the new librarian. She's a friggin' weirdo, you know.
I know, it just retcons everything. It's like the fist punch that ruined the Equestria. You know, it's like
listen to Midnight Shadow be all just like, you're messing with my head cannon.
You're messing with the world itself. There's now two Equestrias. There's one that makes sense and one that doesn't.
Yes, I enjoy like being in the non-make sense world. Why is there arcade machines? I don't care. It's happy. I'm enjoying it.
I was just going to ask
I could give them arcade.
I'm happy with there being arcade machines and like
I haven't got a problem with arcade machines. They can be magical arcade machines.
Ooh.
It's just hydroelectric dams.
it may be just a dam. It might not be hydroelectric.
Yeah, I know. But stick to the show Bible.
Seems like some pony has been drinking from furry apple juice recently. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm just mad as heck, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Sounds like someone's been drinking furry apple juice.
I'm so mad. I am so mad.
Oh well. That sounds.
No, that's just. I could rant for a week. I'm not going to.
I'm sure you can. You know what? You should have your own show to do that.
I'm totally going to go and rant on the next show instead.
All right.
Just.
Pixel, if you may.
All right, let's see here.
Should be that one, I believe. Highlighted.
Which one?
Should be the one I just highlighted, I believe.
Highlighted.
Right here.
There it is.
Mr.
Okay.
Cider.
Here we go. Hey, Mr. MC Cider and Thomas Jefferson and random girl in the background. First off, thank you for giving me some way to channel my poniness. I think I'm driving my friends mad, especially after the two-parter. Couple things. First off, I recently converted my friend's brother, and now he's a total nut for the show. Second, as much as I hate to say this, I can't believe you guys did not mention the Pokemon reference in the second episode of the two-parter. When Chrysalis, excuse my bad grammar, gets blown away and disappeared into the sky, after she disappears, there is a little twinkle of light that sparks, like when Team Rocket gets blasted off. I absolutely hate Pokemon, and this upset me. Almost as much as Tori Spelling during the commercials. Last thing, I really enjoy the show, and every Saturday, plus I buy episodes on iTunes. I would like to contribute more to the community. If you could list me some ideas on the show, that'd be amazing. Thanks. You guys rock. Starbright. P.S. Rainbow Dash is favorite pony, but not best pony. There is no best pony. Oh, and I rated you guys 5 stars on iTunes, as we all should.
Yay. Actually, the like knocked off into the distance twinkle in the sky is just kind of a general anime thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it's not particularly Pokemon, but yeah.
Well, Pokemon does it all I think just about every episode, doesn't it? Really. I stopped watching years ago because it was exactly the same episode every single time.
Well, don't let the one detail just sort of ruin the episode for you. Just pretend it's like an homage to the Enterprise D traveling at warp speed and winking out.
There you go.
Oh, and Tori Spelling, she was a reference to that tar monster that ate Lieutenant Yar in Skin of Evil.
Excellent.
Totally.
Yes, we'll go with that.
So, there you go.
Not the fact that Tori Spelling being in that and talking to Rainbow Dash and all the other ponies means that there are humans in Equestria. Don't think about that. Don't think about it at all.
Totally
Oh,
not
you ruined it
about
forever now.
Only B-list celebrities are allowed in Equestria, it appears. Alec Baldwin in Equestria. Harrison Ford in Equestria. Twilight Sparkle.
Is that supposed to be?
Which of the Coreys is still alive? He should be hosting the next season finale. Corey Feldman, I think, is still around. Yeah, we need to get him.
Just more grumbly, deep-voiced people. Just, I'm in Equestria. How's it going?
Who is that? That's not even Clint Eastwood.
No, it's not Clint. That's new Harrison Ford. Have you heard Harrison Ford recently?
That's worse than my skeleton impression.
That's Harrison Ford. Go watch any Harrison Ford movie. He's just every bass note put together. Daughter. Tommy Lee Jones. There you go.
Yes, exactly.
That's why I think that once they did the Tori Spelling thing, there needed to be an author who was making like B-list celebrity in Equestria. Just one fic where they just Steve Buscemi in Equestria. Just the amazingness that would have come out of that.
Somebody, Tumblr, get on it now.
So let's see. Anything else that was on that? Yeah, that knocked off. Anything you can contribute to the community? Listen earlier. We talked a lot about that. And I think that takes care of it. So thank you very much, Starbright. Mitty, if you may. Ooh, wow, this one's huge.
Oh man, you gave me the hugely massive.
Oh
one.
yeah, this is the other one.
Did you? You can
I condensed
paraphrase.
it down. Do you want me to
Yes,
do
please.
this one?
Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, please.
I'll skip like my next one or whatever. Okay. Hello, Chef Sandy, Apple Cider, Starry Night, and any combination of guest or guests, if any there are at all. I recently listened to episode 50 of your podcast. Congrats on that. And when the subject of mythology came up, I had to take note of it. You see, toward the very beginning of season 2, I was rewatching a couple older episodes, and I noticed something very interesting. I'm certain that it's been pointed out by others before, but it bears mentioning here in light of your mythology discussion. I realized that various pony races were actually archetypes from the book Plato's Republic. In Plato's ideal society, there are 3 types of people. The society needs each type to function. There are iron copper souls, which are the everyday farmers and merchants. The silver souls, which were the military, and the gold souls, which were the philosopher kings. Furthermore, the types of souls equated to the different aspects of the self. Iron copper was body, silver followed the heart in the emotional sense, and gold was the mind. You can see where I'm going with this. Additionally, I also realized that the characters were representations of yin and yang. In Eastern philosophy, yin is characterized by water, femininity, and passivity, while yang is masculinity, fire, and aggressiveness. I figured all this out before Hearthswarming Eve, but after watching it, I made further connections. And the person who wrote in goes on to really go into a lot of detail with different mythology, including Egyptian and equating Celestia to Ra as the bringer of light, and a lot of really cool stuff, but it's long. So you'll probably want to check out the show notes.
It's very long.
But they conclude by saying, I really have no idea if this was an underlying theme that Lauren Faust intentionally put into the stories, or if I'm looking at this far too closely and seeing things that aren't actually there. Either way, I still think it's really interesting to consider. What are your thoughts on this? Thank you and good night. Rex Ivan. P.S. Pinkie Pie is personally preferred party pony.
Wow, that's actually a really interesting way to look at that. Like, I didn't even know about the Plato's ideal society and how that kind of weirdly fits together.
It does.
Shame on you.
I don't know things. I admit to being bad idea pony. So
I'm just going to pretend to actually know about all that stuff and hipster glasses you.
Oh, okay, all right. So could you explain that in detail to me, Midnight?
Well, actually, it's.
You should really read that. There's some good guys.
Read books, you see. Well,
I think it bears mentioning.
Well, yeah, carry on.
The Republic, Plato also says that beauty of style and harmony and grace and good rhythm depend on simplicity, which, as far as I'm concerned, that means Plato believes Octavia is best pony. or maybe rarity.
From the
That probably
grave,
speaks to some
post-humor.
kind of nuanced duality in the artistic mind or something. Who knows?
Does that also mean
Why?
that Plato has to think if Octavia actually exists, or if he doesn't, if Octavia exists or doesn't inside of a separate other plane of existence, or was that
Well-
Socrates? I'm trying to recall.
Well, I
If
think
you're a
Socrates.
pantheistic solipsism, I mean, if you do believe in pantheistic solipsism, then everything that ever could exist somewhere does.
There
And
you
it
go.
all depends on the size of the known universe, or the multiverse as it may be. But that's getting a little bit out there.
Now, if Nish was supposed to talk about Nishi were to talk about his favorite pony, you think he'd choose Rainbow Dash based off of his policy? Let's start attributing favorite ponies to every philosopher.
Well, if Monty Python is to believe, Socrates' favorite pony would probably be Berry Punch.
There you go.
That's probably true. Well, if you're going to tell a story, you'll find you tread ground that's been trodden before with a lot of these old archetypes. And it's not really that surprising if themes like these pop up, because they are in the way we live our lives, just waiting
They're
to
part
be
of the
found.
formula. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw an amusing take on Star Wars and Harry Potter, where basically Harry Potter is rewritten as Star Wars, and it fits the formula perfectly with, the gatekeeper who is the keeper of the old secrets, and you've got the guy who has all the extra special powers just waiting to be unlocked by said teacher and has to go out and have an adventure and come back and vanquish the bad guy. And you could probably apply that same formula to the first 2 episodes of Friendship is Magic.
Mm-hmm.
We're thinking
Right
real
down to
hard
the
about
glowy
this
super
show.
beings.
We are thinking
I have-
so hard on the show.
I've got to say, Rex,
Yeah, the hero's
you are on
journey.
Twitter at all, you need to look up my friend Full Papers on Twitter. He is awesome, and he could talk your ear off on this because he is brilliant at all these literary and mythological connections in Pony. So,
And he's
so
in
look
the
him
chat.
up.
He's in the
And
chat.
he's in the
Hey,
chat right now.
Hey, you. I'm waving at my screen. You probably can't hear this.
Bro hoofing through the screen again.
I told you that.
Going through screens so quickly.
Oh, left and right. Just tossing them out. Quietly, too. All right. Let's see. That was... So Pixel did that. All right. So I will do... No, Mitty does the next one. Mitty.
Okay.
That one right there.
That one right there. First, I would like... It doesn't even say hi. It just says, first, I would like to say love the show, and I thank anyone who has worked to make it what it is. Be you on the show, in post-production, or one of the many fabulous guests. So, moving on to the point, the season finale was my first met up. I think he means meet up. I got a meet up with my fellow UK bronies and one Berlin brony in London, and had one of the best nights of my life. So the best night ever. So my question is this: as very active member of meetup groups yourselves, as a very active member of meetup groups yourselves, what is your greatest one experience you've had through a meetup with your fellow bronies? Thanks for reading my email, the King of the Rubber Ducks. P.S. Discord is best pony.
That's a very Discordian pony right there.
Wow.
Best meetup I've had. Our 21 plus drink meetup was actually really, really cool, because we went to a actual distillery and we had a private room and we sampled drinks, and then we had drinks taught to us, and I actually had learned to appreciate absinthe. Which was
Absinthe is nice. So you're basically sitting there sipping cold Sancerre and discussing the higher qualities of My Little Pony.
Yes, it was quite enjoyable. Just going like, all right, whiskey, and here's a little absinthe, and you're going through this and understanding how to like deal with the drinks differently. And then we went out to a eatery nearby and ended up just happening across someone that was our server who was drawing like stuff on her DeviantArt for My Little Pony, and it was just like, oh,
Nice.
it was just like our server was just randomly like, wait, you really? Like, yep. Like, yeah, come hang with us sometime. It was rather cool. It was really
Nice.
really fun. So I have to say that was probably the best meetup that we've done. What about you guys? Have you done anything recently?
We were at one in Tampere for the Hearts and Hooves Day, and that was a lot of fun.
Unfortunately, the only meetup I've gone to was BronyCon in January, but I had so much fun. Every time I turned around or looked up from my table, there was someone I knew from online who I'd been dying to meet, and there they were in person. And that was the most overwhelmingly positive takeaway from the weekend for me, because it was the sense of community and fellowship and good-heartedness and together, and it was just great. There's something really special when you get a lot of fans together and just start geeking out, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's I love meetups. They're great to do. Probably end up meeting up with some other people later. And as said, you can always, if you're in the San Francisco Bay Area, we've got the meetup group that I help run, and the guys are, I barely even have to touch it anymore. That it's just managing itself. It's awesome. So go check that out. All right, I'll hit this next one. Hello, bronies. And to anyone who's reading this, you are awesome. Yes, you. Thank you. Last week, you discussed what you would like to see in the next episode of MLP, and I want to continue the discussion. I am quite fond of episodes that feature birthday celebrations, Party of One, Sweet and Elite, and Secret of My Excess, and all are ones regularly go back to, because I trust the writers can continue in their efficient use of this plot device. I like to see 1 or 2 episodes with someone's birthdays. If I had to pick whose birthday I would want to see the most, it wouldn't be anyone from the main 6. It would actually be the princesses, either Luna or Celestia, or preferably both. All in all, we definitely need another Luna episode. While we know Luna is the younger sister, we don't know by how many days their birthdays fall on. Maybe they celebrate on the same day. If it happens and we go through an episode that centers on Luna's birthday, I want Luna to revisit the events of Luna Eclipse by her first words to Pinkie Pie being along the lines of, "Thou aren't going to scream in terror this time, I hope." This leads me to another thing I'd like to see more of: continuity. More background appearances of Aloysius and Tank, random shot bursts of assertiveness from Fluttershy, a party where DJ Pon 3 spins the record she's supposed to appear at the Royal Wedding, right? Correct. Rarity's mentioning that she's working on another batch of models for Hoity Toity and Sapphire Shores. Pinkie Pie being beat after babysitting. Stuff like that is sort of reward for passionate viewers. Pavel. Whew. That was actually a very dense inside of there.
Yeah.
I mean, consistency is good. I don't mind if a little bit. I mean, Owlicious and Tank, if they're just kind of, hey, look, there they are in the background. You know, that's kind of enough for
should
me.
Be there. I mean, we had a bit of that with the actual find a pet bit, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like randomly, oh, they have pets, by the way.
Just so you know. Oh, and then at the very end where of the Dragon Quest where Pee-wee shows up and it's just like, hey, Spike's got a pet. Never again. You know, just like, but that was like a Winona for the longest time. It's like, Winona shows up once in season 1, never again.
And yet, Winona is one of the only pets that came with a toy that actually fits. Winona actually came with Applejack instead of like a hedgehog or some kind of weird bird with a huge head or something.
Mm-hmm.
Did Rainbow Dash actually have a tortoise in one of the toy sets?
I believe so.
Yeah, but it didn't look anything like Tank. It was a much more cutified little turtle. But yeah, I think she did.
Yep, and let's see. There's. I'm looking at all. I'm trying to see other ones. I think there's a squirrel in one of Rainbow Dash's ones. It's kind of hard to see the package. I see Lily Blossom over there has a swan.
And then one of them
One has a butterfly. Is that Fluttershy has a butterfly?
No, it's.
And I'm looking at Twilight. She's got this weird, like, I guess it's like a reddish purple owl or something. It's some sort of weird bird.
Yeah, that's the big-headed bird. It's very odd.
Yeah.
It's strange.
I got a doodlebug thing with Rarity, actually, as well. It was this weird kind of bug thing. And I think I swapped it for the cat that I got with Fluttershy.
Let's see. Parts of this, yeah, I mean, would you, I think it would be interesting if we found out that Luna and Celestia were actually twins and the like, younger sisters only by, like, a period of minutes. Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm the eldest by like 15
cool.
minutes. That would be kind of interesting.
That would add another dimension to the jealousy thing with Nightmare Moon. It's like, yeah, you beat me by an hour and you get to be the Queen of the Sun. Great.
Yeah. But then again, Luna's got everything in space. Celestia just has like one sun. It's like the sun. I get outer space.
Luna has the moon. She doesn't have space.
She should have space.
She should have space. She has space in her main
sky. Yeah, she has the stars, and she has all the stars everywhere, every planet, absolutely everywhere except Equestria.
Well, maybe
night and Celestia controls day.
Right. Though here's a little bit of a mind twist for you. Equestria actually lives in her main.
So Equestria's in her main, and
she
her
is
main
on Equestria.
On Equestria. Oh, that's awesome. That's mainception.
Spirals upon itself.
Princessception?
Wom. Get the
Luna
wom
has all
sound.
the fans, though, so that has to count for something.
She
Or at
does
least
have a
most
lot
of the
more.
fans.
Worlds.
Yeah. Well, more for it. It was at least good to see her pop up a little bit during the finale. Though it was kind of like, LOL, where was I? Like,
where did she go?
Yeah, that's a good question, Luna.
Space?
Where the heck were you?
She's missing Luna. She's that's another flipping Pokemon reference right there. She's missing Luna.
Yeah.
Where did she go? She was just like, okay, guys, I'm gonna go out for a curry. Coming back in a while when the party's going on, so I'll just be there for the party, and she just goes.
Oh, and I noticed that I missed this PS. P.S. This is how I'd order the ponies: Fluttershy, Rarity, Twilight Sparkle, Pinkie Pie, Applejack, Rainbow Dash. Don't think that I dislike AJ or RD. I just love all the ponies, but I love some more than others. All ponies are good, but not all ponies.
Oh.
All right.
All ponies are equal, but some are more equal.
Some are more equal than others. There you go. All right. Go ahead, Mitty, if you grab the next one, since we are making up lost time with Pixel.
Greetings, ACCS, random girl in the background, you mad? And any guests that may or may not be on this week's episode. I am a high schooler with a bit of a problem. I have told my friend of my pony obsession, and while he holds no grudges and doesn't think any less of me for enjoying a show that is originally intended for younger audiences, he firmly maintained that the show itself is rather gay. His words, not mine. Over the last few weeks, I have been showing him several memes and screen caps of the show that can be enjoyed by those who know nothing about it. In addition, I have forced him through It's About Time, which he slept almost completely through, and a commentary of a Generation 3 episode by current bronies. Their pain is my amusement. My question to you is as follows. How much is too much? When do I stop showing him these? I want to make him watch at least one more episode before accepting his final opinion. I am not completely heartless. I have told him several times that if I start to piss him off, he should tell me, but I want to spread the love all over. As an additional question, what episode would be a good one to show him without coming across as too girly? Thanks, Halo Brony. P.S. Rainbow Dash is best main 6. Daring Do is best side. Vinyl Scratch is best background. P.P.S. Would love if you guys would ever find time to check out my fic Maximum Ride, because saving just one ride is overrated. A crossover with James Patterson's Maximum Ride. Shameless self-pimping is over. You guys need to keep doing what you're doing, and always remember, they're ponies. I ain't got to justify. Yay.
Don't force it, dude.
Yeah. If you're trying to spread the love all over your friend, that is rather gay.
Oh, what? Well.
That was rather harsh.
Yeah, it was.
No, okay, to be honest, stop forcing the show down your friend's throat if he isn't interested in it. Gay is synonymous for, I don't really care about this show enough to actually watch it with you, sorry.
Yeah,
That's
and your
all.
friend seems pretty cool. I mean, he's not unfairly judging you, especially for liking the show. He's just saying it's not for me. So don't push it on him. Don't be that Brony. Don't be the wild-eyed pusher. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the best thing since sliced bread for everybody. So, yeah. He doesn't like it. He's rendered his verdict. Sorry.
Falling asleep, if they're interested, just like, all right, I'll watch this, and then, seem like they're interested and go, it wasn't too bad. But the sleeping through mostly an episode, yeah, that, and then forcing him to watch bad episodes, you're not helping yourself.
I think
Yeah.
most of us really like it or really hate it. We know pretty early into the first exposure, positive or negative. So
Yeah.
he's made his decision. You can't make him like it.
So it happens. All right, let's move through. We still got a ton of emails, and we still got only a little bit of time. We're actually already over, but let's do this.
Yeah, you're delaying my podcast.
You know what? We'll do one more round of these, and then we'll cut it.
Okay.
Just to be safe. Hey, Apple Cider and Chef Sandy, just found the podcast one day by browsing iTunes and have faithfully listened to it since. I'm currently only at episode 12 of your podcast, trying to catch up, but so far, this is the greatest thing my ears have heard. Wow, you don't listen much. Finally, a good My Little Pony podcast. I have 2 questions since we are nearing the season finale. What's the Brony community to do? Is there any My Little Pony forums or role-playing areas I could find? Any help would be greatly appreciated. I was a naysayer until the show. One day I decided to take a gander and watch the show. Instantly hooked after part 1 to be continued. Favorite pony by far would either be Twilight Sparkle or Octavia. If you ever need any assistance for the show, I would be more than willing to aid in any way. A faithful fan, DJ Shake. We covered the
Faithful dessert.
the most faithful desserts. Forget you, tiramisu. Flan is helping us out. Tiramisu. Tiramisu. That's the movie I wanted to make a while back. Tiramisu, the dessert that eats you. Oh no!
That's awesome.
So you start to eat it, and suddenly it leaps out of the bowl and just consumes your face. You're like, oh!
Oh no! It's tiramisu. It was a dessert that was made on a cursed plate, baked in an evil oven. Tiramisu.
Very evil oven. Indian graveyards have to feature there somewhere.
Yes, I thought so.
Bought in a shop built on an Indian graveyard.
Exactly. That would be. I would love if I should make a Kickstarter to make that movie Tiramisu, the dessert that eats you. It would be so much fun. Let's see. Finally, let's see. So we kind of covered the what can we do. As for role-playing areas, I know that, let's see, the Equestrian Dawn Mud, or Mush that's out there, I used to roleplay on that for a while. There are plenty of people that Twitter roleplay. If you like doing that, you can get a Twitter account, and it's like everybody makes a name _MLP, and they just chatter with each other. Trying to see, I think Canterlot.net is the correct one. That is a forum roleplay. But those are the ones that I can think right offhand that are good for if you're the roleplay type. Do either of you know of any other places?
I'm afraid I do not.
I would suggest the Mud, which I haven't been back to for a while, because I just haven't had time.
Yep. So it's a little secret thing. The Mud, I actually was a wizard for a while, and then quit. Secret lives of Apple Cider. Never knew it. All that time.
Lordy.
I know. All right, let's see. So, Flan is power. Stop. All right. That was a weird image. All right, let's see. I did that one, so I believe it's back to you, Pixel. One more.
All right, let's see here. This is a kind of long one. Hi, Apple Cider, Chef Sandy, and guests. I've just listened to the latest episode, and I thought I'd let you guys know it was great. And it was. I've got a question for you guys, but before I ask, I got to tell you my story first. I recently started my own MLP-related show called the MBS Show. MBS stands for Malaysian Brony Society. We're still new with just 7 episodes in, and we're having a blast recording it. We've taken inspiration from your show because your show is the best MLP-related show out there, and trying to make it our own with a Malaysian twist added. We focused on featuring guests from the Malaysian Brony Society Facebook group and getting them in the spotlight. So basically, it's the same as what you do every week. My questions to you guys are, number 1, how do you maintain your webpage? Number 2, where do you keep your audio files? Number 3, how do you get the guests to come onto your show? Number 4, and lastly, will you guys be a guest on my show? Please say yes, please say yes. Thanks for taking time and reading the email. Oh, and if it's no trouble, could you guys give my site a shout out? We really need more audience coming to our site. My site can be found at the M as in Mike, B as in Betty, S as in Sam show.blogspot.com. P.S. Getting Eurobeat Brony reading my email in episode 42 was awesome. P.S.S. If you guys can't read the email on the show, it's okay, I understand, keeping with time and all, but I'm really serious with my questions. From your inspired listener, Norman Zanzo, host of the MBS show. More P.S. Would you mind if anyone went back and compiled your funniest moments into one oatmeal of an MP3? And finally, Fluttershy is best pony. Who needs more love on this podcast? Go read a Twy-Shipfic, you two. Sincerely, your faithful listener, Spino.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Yeah, all right, so let's see. How do you maintain your webpage? WordPress. Really easy. WordPress kind of does all that for you. Where you keep the audio files on the server where WordPress is. We actually are really lucky that we have a admin Inky Spots who comes on here every once in a while. He has a server that has tons of space and tons of bandwidth, and we get it for mostly free. So with a hug and a little bit of ample cash whenever we have some. How do you get guests to come on your show? Hey, Mitty and Pixel, how did I get you to come on the show?
I think you asked me.
Bribery, threats, and extortion.
Pretty much. It's just going, hey, I do this show. Could you come on it? Can I be on your show? I get a lot of requests for people to come on their other shows, and I hate saying no, but we can definitely look at it. It's just that I am doing a podcast myself and getting the stuff out there. Weekends, it's just kind of like, oh God, I got to get out there and just actually do stuff. So I try and minimize how much extra pony, but I have no problem against it. Send me another email and we can chatterfy it. Yeah, and it's just I am unfortunately just with the pony stuff. It's hard just having extra time to do extra pony stuff. So, but these two seem to be able to do it. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to see. It looks like there's supposed to be an email here or something.
It seems to have derped and gone backwards.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I've skipped that one.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, skip that and go with that one.
Shall I read that one?
You should read that one.
Okay, dear Starry Night, Raichu Mags, oh my god, what the lols, and random kind of background AC. Well, Buck, I'm late, aren't I? I just had to put it out there. Who is this one? Take two, Howdy AC, Chefs and Hostile Third Party.
Nice one. I like that.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me.
Yeah. Thanks for a year of great podcasting, and here's to more great episodes and guests. I'll just keep this short, probably because I don't have anything to ramble about, but are you guys planning to go see the Battleship movie over here in Australia? The movie just happened to come out a month earlier than you Americans for some reason, and so a bunch of bronies and I went to see it, and then my head was full of what? Other than that, if there's ever an MLP movie and their promo posters had the tagline, "From the company that brought you Transformers," much like Battleship's marketing, Hasbro would deserve an epic hoof bump from me for having the balls to do so. Keep up the great work. You're pony deprived for the next 5 months or so, but still somewhat faithful listener, Zoomcar. Insert obligatory rarity is best pony hoof bumping through the screen about that, sir. Yeah. Battleship the movie, all of my what? I mean, of all the things to turn into a movie, a game about plastic pegs. Wow.
Let's see.
And it's doing so well.
Who was drunk when they came up with this idea? Somebody was totally there just going, yeah, let's make a movie about Battleship. It'll be great.
I need to see, like, I wonder how much. I wonder how much it costs to make, because that's ultimately.
It was 100 million.
All right,
it was 100 million schmackers.
So they've made 25 million thus far.
Oh, Battleship.
I mean, the effects look fantastic, and when I first saw the advert for it, I thought, okay, here we go, another advert from Hollywood about aliens, and it's going to be great. And then I heard it's actually a movie about the game Battleship. And I was like,
Did you notice that during the part where the enemy ship is hitting the battleship, the things that lodge into the side of the ship look like pegs?
yeah, I haven't actually seen it yet. Okay, Wikipedia says, according to Fold Papers, the budget was $209 million.
Oh, come on!
That can't
Are you
be.
kidding
Wow.
me?
All the money.
All the money in the world to make a
Hungry
movie
Hippos is gonna rock.
Hungry Hippos coming to you. They're hungry. They're hippos. And they're here.
Tom Cruise
swings past. Yeah, lightning comes out of his fingers, yeah.
I want to see the Mousetrap
yeah.
Saw crossover. It's inevitable. I think that'll be pretty great.
Actually, I'm really looking forward to Crocodile Mile. That one's gonna be that's gonna be a great.
They
hit
are
that bump.
allegedly making Monopoly.
Monopoly, I could actually see some sort of plot around, though. You know that there could be something. Battleship and Battleship could have some sort of plot line behind it if you had taken it of just like this commander's gone rogue and he's taken a whole squadron of ships and but then it's like like derp a derp alien derp derp like,
Peg shooting derp derp.
derp derp derp.
Battleship.
Yeah, do you think they actually say that? They probably have to sometime in the movies.
Yes, they did.
Someone
apparently.
turns dramatically to the camera and says, "They sunk my battleship."
I think it's Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, let's get our biggest star to say, they sunk my battleship. And like, oh, man. Oh.
I mean,
Qui-Gon Jinn, what's wrong with you?
I mean, my word. I mean, how? I mean, just of all the movies that had to be made, why the one about plastic pegs?
Are we just angry about this because we look at this money and
broken?
Are we looking at this just as MLP fans and going like 100? You could have spent that money on us, quarter of it. Just
I'm
a decent
G.I. Joe fan because now G.I. Joe Retaliation is pushed back till next March because Hasbro's like, oh my god, no money to be made in toy tie-ins right now. So sad.
I mean, $209 million spent on My Little Pony would have been fantastic.
Oh, it would have been ridiculous. Would have been like in 3D at your house right now. Like, oh god.
Yeah, I mean, come on, it would have been awesome.
Like you're like a Pixar quality. It wouldn't be if you took ponies and made it 3D, it wouldn't work. But if you were able to make the 2D 3D, like actually have them still be flat, but actually add depth to it, that would be cool.
That would be great.
That would be like looking at if you had it where it was almost like a shadow box. Like different things were at different levels.
Oh, that would be great.
Oh, that would be so cool. All right.
That goes on the napkin.
Putting it on the napkin, just floating this across. Not sure. Hasbro, DHX.
My hand's here.
This is coming across the table. I'm going to let my fingers go. I don't know what's on it, but
Hasbro. I mean, there are writers over here that are willing and able to spin tales of fantastic awesomeness and just tap into it. Just have your people call my people. It's like we have napkins filled with stuff here.
I don't know. I'm thinking about doing a movie about Operation next.
And it'll cost you a lot less than $209 million.
What happens in it is that there's an alien that shows up and we're trying to operate and take out all these wishbones. Like, oh no. Oh.
Don't touch his side.
His nose glows when he gets angry.
No, don't take it out incorrectly. His nose will glow red and he gets real angry. Starts grabbing people. An alien comes down, needs an operation, but anytime you accidentally harm him, like a nuclear weapon from the mothership hits a city, so you have
it's like
get the best surgeons here. Keanu Reeves is the best surgeon. I need
it writes itself.
I gotta get that heart. Just like, oh man. Another one of these. Ah. Whoa, that heart's really hard to get. Oh, no. There you go. And that's gonna do that's gonna do the emails. That's all the emails we're gonna cover this time. Thank you all for emailing in and being part of this very oatmeal show. And you can always send those across to bronyville@gmail.com. And we will always do periodically do an email show. So thank you very much for sending those across and allowing us to get quite silly with it. Next information before we close this off, I always have to talk about, we do our weekly challenge, and last week we gave the weekly challenge out for individuals to join us on Twitter, join myself and join Chef Sandy at Chef Sandy and at Bronyville. We have two winners. Happened that me and Chef picked the same winner, so I had to re-pick. So our winners this week are Katrin Mala, was Chef's pick, and I am picking a hot pink joystick. So I will be reaching out to both of those Twitter users, which were recent followers of mine or had unsubscribed and resubscribed. And they will be getting excellent Brony prizes, stuff from us. So very good, and congratulations to those two. Awesome. Calling out to our... Yep. Calling out to our 5-star iTunes bronies, we have 629 reviews. Thank you very much. Thanks to Kreftrubot, A Broman, Cindy Bishop, Knockjaw, and I hate making nicknames 613, Anime Guy 10, and Frothy Mocha. And our donator this week, which thank you very much for donating across. You can do that over at bronyshow.com or bronyvillepodcast.com by going to the link over there on the right-hand side and just sending us a little money to keep the show going. That is Edward T. Thank you very much, sir. Your weekly challenge for this week is going to be the same as the week before. I want you to go to Equestria Daily and comment about this oatmeal show. So go in there, leave a comment, and we'll send you a prize. The winner of last week has been contacted. He contacted us, and I'm going to send him wonderful prizes coming up. So when the show airs on Wednesday, do join in. Do have a little conversation there on Equestria Daily's comment page, because, you know, the more comments and the more stars that are there, the more people end up noticing the show there. And that brings us to the very end of this very long-winded and funny show. We are doing our one cool thing. If you have to do one thing this week, one very silly and oatmeal bit of thing, you should probably do these. My choice is going to be Google Synth meets Pony Music. So if you go to this little Google page a little while back, they did as Google does, a little modification of Robert Morg's 78th birthday, in which they added a synthesizer, and you can actually play with it and play with notes and do some silliness on it. So I've been doing some practicing. So let me scale this down, and I need to get over here, but I've been dang it, it went away. You can actually play it, and somebody has made the verifiable different versions of Pony Music that you can play on the little modulator there. So let me pull up these two pieces, and please apologize. I have little. Let me see. Oh wow, that's a little loud. I have very little actual experience, but here you go. Wow, that went a lot better than I thought it would. There you go, guys. I don't know if you heard that, but I just did all of Pinky's Brew, or at least the intro to it. So you should check that out. That's a fun little thing, and so they have added some
amazing.
I am shocked I did that well. So
That was great.
And you can do that. They've added some, and some people have commented with other versions you can do. And it's just something silly and fun. So go check that out. It's my cool thing this week. Let's see. Pixel, what you got?
Well, remember the adorable way that Apple Bloom and Scootaloo bounced along while Sweetie Belle was singing in Hearts and Hooves Day? Well, artist Kawaimo over at DeviantArt has been releasing a series of just painfully adorable GIFs with various Philly ponies eternally bouncing and dancing for your amusement. So seriously, they're really adorable, and they're just off the charts in terms of squee. So go to Kawaimo's DeviantArt page and check them out. And there's even one of me, believe it or not. So it's awesome.
Awesome.
You're a star. A fandom starlet.
She is.
No,
Pixel
you
Kitty is
guys.
adorable.
Oh, you. Don't say those things about me.
Go on.
It
No,
makes
really.
me blush. We love you, Pixel.
I love you guys.
Mitty, what do you got for us?
Well, I was going to say the pre-readers Q&A Ep 2, but it's not actually up yet. It's going to be up next week. So I thought, hey, let's add the Wub Machine. If you have ever wanted to make terribly bad drum and bass or wub 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 music, now's your chance. Pick an MP3, upload it, and it will create awesome dubstep for you. Automagically.
I wonder what happens if you already add dubstep. I can only imagine how much more dubstep it would go. Uh-oh.
I did a drum and bass remix of a dubstep remix of an MP3, and it was awesome. Yep. I'm told it's so bad that it's good. I should link my YouTube account that I made specifically for making terrible dubstep.
Oh God, dubsteption, people are saying. Wom.
Yep. It goes wow, and it's just awesome.
All right, put the
awesome bad.
put the MP3 of this podcast in and see how we are dubstepped.
I shall.
All the laughing of Starry Night suddenly turned into a dubstep map. All right. That is awesome. That is our one cool things. You should check those out. They are all fun, and you can definitely see some dancing ponies, play some pony music, or I guess make some terrible dubstep. So go ahead and do that. And Mitty's got to run off and do that Q&A that he was talking about pretty soon. His show.
Yeah, my little show.
So
inspired by you guys totally ripping off your format.
I know.
So I owe everything to you. It's a homage.
It is a good format to steal. Copyright me. Pay royalties.
I'll pay you in Brony bucks.
Oh, okay. Those are really high value. They're like space bucks, so they're redeemable everywhere. All right. Yep. Well, that takes us to the end of this show. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. Everyone in the cat and the on the Justin TV. Hope you had a fun time. I know that this episode has been probably one of the nutsier ones we've had, and I've actually enjoyed that for both for good and for ill, for crashing streams and internet dropping.
Crazy, yeah.
So yes, this was a fun episode. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you very much, Pixel Kitties, for showing up, helping out. Had a great time having you here, and come back anytime you like.
I will be here anytime you need me. Thanks so much. You know I love coming on here.
And
it's the best.
Love having you here, so thank you very, very much, Pixel. Mitty, same thing. Even though you're painfully British, I love having you on the show.
Thank you very much, guys. Oh, I've just linked my awesome dubstep channel in the chat.
Oh boy!
So everybody can find and listen to the awesomeness that is dubstepception.
There you go. Go ahead and get
there
that
you
on.
Go. There you go.
I will save that link.
Complete with deliberately bad covers.
I will save everyone on the Google Doc from having to deal with that. So you are safe. Those that are going to be listening to this later, to those in the stream, I am so sorry. And that will draw us.
Use it as the outro, I'm sure.
Oh, actually Starry does a good job choosing the outros. She mixes it up pretty well. Yeah, she's already got one in here. Look at that.
Nice.
All right, well, that takes us to the close. Thank you both having us on. Thank you, all of you great listeners that join in. Leave us reviews on iTunes. You guys are great. And yeah, you can follow us if you want to go ahead and check out the show. Check out our webpage. That's at BronyShow.com or BronyvillePodcast.com. You can always send an email across to us at Bronyville@gmail.com. Leave us reviews on iTunes. We are up there in the top 30 of TV, and we do that only because you guys love us that much and show your dedication by leaving reviews. The more you can do it, the more and higher we get up there, and we can rival that dag-blasted Kevin Smith. Twitter, you can follow us across. My Twitter address is Bronyville. Chef Sandy is Chef Sandy's. What about you two? Got any Twitters?
It's Midnight Shadow Pony with the vowels removed.
Oh, goody.
It's Midnight Shadow Pony.
And I am at Pixel Kitties, PixelKitties on Twitter, and Pixel Kitties on DeviantArt.com.
Excellent.
Following.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to follow her.
There
Sorry.
you
I'm
go.
going to follow you back. So,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm going
Ooh.
to e-stalk.
Oh, no. Now you're going to the library.
The library.
Oh, no. Meetup groups, you can go to my meetup group, that is Bronies of Northern California, or Chefs is the North Texas Bronies. And conventions we are currently set to go to, we are going to be attending, we being Chef and I, are going to be attending Everfree Northwest and Canterlot Gardens. And that's it. That's episode 56. Thank you all for joining in this extra long, extra crazy, extra oatmeal show. It is always awesome to do these each week, and we will do one. Guess what? Next week, join us Saturday noon. We'll be talking more pony, and we'll be talking it with the Equestria Daily guys, doing a Q&A. So enjoy that. For now, though, you know what you need to do? Sleep well, every pony.
Bye-bye, every pony.
Bye.
Isn't it the heart that binds you? Isn't it the soul that binds you? Why are they so goddamn easy to manipulate? Thought that you were helping me, but I couldn't plainly see. Oh, my dear Cadence, I thought we were in love. Oh, Cadence, why have you left me broken? Deceptive Cadence, these heartless words you've spoken. Is it really you, or did you leave me long ago? Found out my true love was fake, but I still wanted her anyways. I should have listened to the cautious words that I was told. The queen, she fades on me, and my love for dear Cadence. Why have you left my side? Oh, Cadence, why have you left me broken? Deceptive Cadence, these heartless words you've spoken. Is it really you? You're not the one I fell for long ago. Oh, you left my side. I'm the one that took your place, it's not my pride. Got in my own pride. And my God, I couldn't leave her if I tried. Okay, it's not good, really, you to love right now. But you know where to be found. Dear Cadence, not good, really, use your hope right now. The queen has left me gagged and bound. And you'll know where to be found. And you'll know where to be found. Oh, yeah. Okay, Cadence, I could really use your love right now. Okay, Cadence, I could really